It's time for powerful niggatry. It's your boys.
Appreciate it, Mr. Davis. What's up? This is Thomas Davis, man, and you are watching the Black Cat Panther podcast. Make sure y'all tune in all season long.
Yeah, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast.
Can I run up the score, run up the board, breaking the mold? Ay, ay, walking the door, you know what happened? We step on the floor. Ay, ay, coming from on, you don't want partners, you already know it. Ay, ay, come on my to it, you already know I'm finna go do it. Ay, yeah, I'm locked in and I feel like Mark 10. Ay, walking to a room, chest up with my chin. Ay, already finished for this joint, even begin. Ay, when is what I am, I cannot ever pretend. Ay, yeah, never pretend. Ay, back in the lab again. Ay, you were not touching the friends, ayy. You were not touching the kin, ayy. Putting the points on the board, I'm killing the boys, you know what it is, ayy. Switching the moves, no number two, I came in to win. Said I'm tapped in with the action, if it got the master on the master, I can never move passive. I'm active, I can make them go ghost on this cast. But wanna know who running it, just ask us. On the track, I'm gunning it, I'm blasting this, that gas, like diesel, Shack and dog.
You know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat.
I'd like to take this time to welcome everybody to the Black Cat Panther podcast. It's one of them ones where the question today is simply going to be why? There's a lot of things that we could talk about today, but I'm in the business of knowing why. Why things happen the way that they do. Shout out to Jada. There has been a video that has come out. An assistant coach for the Carolina Panthers was talking about the East-West Shrine game and his feelings about coaching. Now, the craziest thing is I'm a free thinker. I've always been a free thinker. If niggas going left, I'm going right. If they're going up, I'm going down. It's just one of those things where I've always thought outside the box of why people say and why people do certain things. Now, Raw Room is one of the best podcasts that's out there. Like they give you uncut, unfiltered, like I said, straight to the narrative of how things are in the NFL. I love it. The thing is when you start getting names, tags, affiliations, when you hear clips, because when they put up clips about Raw Room, most of the time it's about what's being said in that particular video for that particular person. But this time, nah. This video was put up under the underlining saying Carolina Panthers assistant coach speaks on adjustments. Now be mindful to everybody coming in. This clip was taken and it was talking about an East-West Shrine game, getting everybody in and talking about simplifying things for, you know, the youngins for that short period of time that they all together. You know what I'm saying? But yes, you're right, Darren Bates. Yeah, you're right. So I'm gonna play the clip because I'm under the impression if you're in a situation where shit is not so sweet over here, everybody gonna start saying, well, why would he even say something like that in the general? Because if you're in media and the number one thing is they got you saying a certain thing, you got to be careful of what you say, how you say it, because it could be taken out of context. Every single thing you say will be taken out of context. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in the media, you're affiliated with certain organizations. And so this guy, like I said, is talking about the East West Shrine, the Shrine Bowl, but then he ties it in with the Carolina Panthers because then he goes into the clips talking about with Sam Franklin and different stuff. I want y'all boys to be the judge of where we're sitting at with this right here. I'm gonna play a little bit of the audio because I want y'all to hear it. Matter of fact, let me get it queued up. Let me get it queued up for y'all. Because, like I said, if you're a Panthers head coach, assistant coach, there's just certain topics that you shy away from, that you don't be allowed, that you don't have yourself caught in 4K saying, because it's going to always come back under the stigma of, well, he's talking about the Panthers. Even though you could be talking about something completely different, they're going to always tie it and link it to the Panthers. So I want y'all to hear this shit and y'all give me y'all opinion on what y'all hear. I'm under the impression this is wild.
You right about the coordinator when they be having meetings. Mostly happen to come out though. But you be in the meetings, bro, seeing these niggas arguing about this and that, and just some parts of the way the game is played. And I'm like, bro, what? So you mean to tell me you want to take this out because you don't adjust? Right. What the fuck are we talking about?
No adjustments being made.
Bro, just want to change. I don't know. Just, you can't. And then me and Tracy double had me, Tracy, and Keith, and who else? It was another coach. I forgot who it was. We walking around trying to look for where the meeting room was at. We walking there late as hell. Yeah. Walking that bitch. It's hot. It's 40 motherfuckers in this little ass room. Ooh, niggas already yelling. We walking. I'm sitting in this bitch. Like, all right, here we go. So I'm standing up in the back. And I'm just hearing, all right, what the way me and Tracy talk about, all right, if they do this, we're gonna do this. If they do this, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do
Right.
I'm thinking, nigga, that's how everybody doing. Should be. That's how everybody I've been with. They go adjust. Talk about adjust.
We football players talking about football, or football staff talking about football.
Yes.
Yeah. And talking about the game.
When I heard those conversations, bro,
whole different dynamic up there.
My mind just.
So I'm sorry, like I'm trying to understand. So I do see what you're saying about, like, obviously, like when if something changed, game plan, whatever, y'all just have to adjust, defense, whatever, y'all have to just have to talk. So are you saying that, like, the organization is adjusting for the players?
No. I'm saying that trying to make it easier. To me, it sounds like they're trying to make coaching easier. That's what I took it as.
Okay.
That's what I took it as. Like, try not. The motherfucker short. Tell you niggas to scoot the fuck up. If they kick balls, it's on the ground all the time. Practice picking up ground balls, nigga. Right. The fuck we talking about?
Right. I see what you're saying. Okay.
I'm trying not to get there.
I feel you. But like Mike Tomlin said, some coaches don't like to coach.
Right. Crazy to me, dog.
Some coaches don't listen. And I know that sounds crazy, but some coaches don't like to coach.
Yeah. I love that. I like that shit though. They doing some shit.
Coaches don't like to coach.
But even though it's stressful, especially on the sideline, we try to figure shit out. But when the team do some shit or put somebody there or do this or do that you ain't seen or they ain't never did before, I like that shit. Yep. Now, see, we can match this chess move. Me and Tracy get over there writing on a little paper.
Right.
Trying to get, all right, let's move so-and-so over here. You know what I'm saying? All that little shit, like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
That makes the shit fun.
That is the
part of the game. You enjoy coaching.
Yeah. Now, them boys over on that sideline, that's their chess move. They just move. Now we got to respond.
Right.
We got to come back with something.
Right.
We ain't going to be like, no, that ain't fair. What?
Right.
That's coaching. You're right.
Get better. Figure out a way.
Stop it. That's literally
stop it.
Stop it. Yeah. The best aspect of the game is the competition against great minds.
Yes.
Great abilities. Likewise, like you
said that. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Iron sharp iron. Like if we doing cupcaking ass shit out here, that shit don't make it fun.
You said that.
Now, that's one of the clips I'm gonna play. First of all, if you're anywhat or somewhat affiliated with the Carolina Panthers, you do not make those statements right there simply because you understand. Now, granted, he was talking about the East-West Shrine Bowl, but you understand that with us being in the situation that we are, it will be taken out of context, what you have said. Now, I'm looking at him like, where's your awareness? Because like he commented in the chat, like just like my man said, he told one of the fans when somebody said, well, damn, is he talking about Carolina? And they told him, nah, you slow. They commented immediately and said that. But from a fan's perspective, when you tag the name, and I'm gonna show y'all how it was tagged. It was tagged online, not from the raw room. It was tagged Panthers assistant coach speaks on adjustments. Now, what are you getting to, Q? What are you alluding to? We're gonna take slow steps right here. We're gonna take it slow. I'm alluding to maybe, and I'm just putting this out here. Now, I want you to see the title of what it was labeled as right here, what you just heard. Panthers assistant coach Darren Bates on making adjustments. Now, I'm taking it slow for a reason because yes, it was put it out there in a certain aspect for a reason. But what I'm looking at is saying, okay, you said what you said to get your point across. You said it in a way to put it for the Shrine Bowl, but you insinuating this the shit that's fucking going on right goddamn here. When you say, hey, some coaches, they try to simplify coaching. They try to simplify not doing, in the essence, you almost like, this nigga he don't do his job. Now be mindful, if you're a Panthers head coach, not a head coach, if you're a Panthers assistant coach, you make sure that you clean that shit up when you say it. You get what I'm saying? But instead, he puts that statement out there. And the number one thing he do is he even elaborates on coaching and where he's going with it. Once again, I say to myself, why do you put yourself in that predicament to put a statement like that out there and then you put it out as if you were speaking on the Panthers, even though you were speaking on the East-West Shrine game? Why would you do that? You get what I'm saying? Shout out to CJ here. He said the nigga was trying to save face when he went at that fan, because that's immediately what a fan is going to say. Well, damn, he talking about the Panthers? It's labeled up as low. It's saying Carolina Panthers assistant coach says no adjustments being made. They knew exactly what the fuck they've been doing to get views on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because ding, 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 my antennas went up as soon as I saw it. And I said, okay, yeah, let me go watch the full clip. The full clip is him talking about the East-West Shrine game, but they took that little clip piece and you could damn near put that for what's going on in the NFL today. Today. And I said to myself, you do know last year they were saying that Canales struggled in the third quarter a lot when it came to making adjustments. Now you see where I'm going with this shit right here. Canales struggled in some games. Even in that glorious Atlanta game, shouts out to Chuba, not Chuba. It wasn't the Atlanta game. It was one of those games where Chuba just went out of his mind. And it'll come back to me in a few, because my recall just ain't there today. I just woke up. But it was one of those games where we kept saying, well, damn, is Canales gonna make any adjustments? What is he doing? And then it's like, well, shout out to Chuba, because Chuba made a play. And then you sit back and you look and you say, thank you on CJ Hill, the Arizona game. And then it's like one of those things where you look at, they simplifying things around here. Because one of the guys say, oh, the organization He said the organization is simplifying things around there, and he was like, nah. He danced around the shit. You get what I'm saying? He danced around it because one of them guys directly said it. So I'm gonna play it one more again for y'all to hear what went down. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Being on meetings, like when you're around other coordinators, when they be having meetings, most happen to come out, but you be in the meetings, bro, seeing these niggas arguing about this and that, and just some parts of the way the game is played, and I'm like, bro, what? So you mean to tell me you want to take this out because you don't adjust?
Right.
What the fuck are we talking about?
No adjustments being made.
Bro, just want to change. I don't know.
You can't.
And then me and Tracy me, Tracy, and Keys, and who else? It was another coach. I forgot who it was. We walking around trying to look for what the meeting room was at. We walking there late as hell.
Yeah.
Walking that bitch. It's hot. It's 40 motherfuckers in the little ass room.
Ooh,
niggas already yelling. We walking. I'm telling this bitch. Like, all right, here we go. So I'm standing up in the back, and I'm just hearing, all right, what the way me and Tracy talk about, all right, if they do this, we're gonna do this. If they do this, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
Right.
I'm thinking, nigga, that's how everybody doing. Should be. That's everybody I've been with. They gonna adjust. Talk about adjust.
We football players talking about football, or football staff talking about football.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Talking
so
about the game.
When I heard those conversations, bro,
Whole different dynamic up there.
My mind just.
So I'm sorry, like I'm trying to understand. So I do see what you're saying about, like, obviously, like when if something changed, game plan, whatever, y'all just have to adjust, defense, whatever, y'all have to just have to talk. So are you saying that, like, the organization is adjusting for the players?
No. I'm saying that.
Now, see, I had to stop that right there. For East West Shrine Bowl, you ain't talking about no motherfucking organization. You get what I'm saying? That's why I stopped that shit right goddamn there. For East West Shrine Bowl, you are not speaking on organizations. These niggas is trying to get some shit out without, they subliminally saying shit without saying it. You get what I'm saying? You started talking about the East West Shrine Bowl where you got coaches coming in and you trying to get on the same page with different coaches and what they want to do in that short and compressed time. But what this nigga just did, because he knew where Darren was trying to take the shit. He knew what Darren Benson was trying to take the motherfucker. So it's like, they were like, okay, well, organizations. He fucked up right there. You got to listen to what a nigga says. He fucked up. I heard you, motherfucker. You try to sneak that shit in. And Darren caught it. He said, organization, and my buddy said, no, not organizations. He's trying to make sure he tell you, nigga, you saying too fucking much. Don't say that. I heard you. I caught it at 4K, and I said to myself, why in the fuck would you come out and put a message about the East West Shrine Bowl, but then label it up Panthers? Now be mindful, this is the Raw Report video, labeled up as Panthers assistant coach. He made sure that this shit comes down where the Panther eyes can see it and Panther fans can hear it. You get what I'm saying? It's, you said what you said, but you're trying to throw the rock and hide your fucking hand. You get what I'm saying? This the shit I'm talking about. He's basically talking about the fucking locker room where we at. But he trying to put it for the East-West Shrine game. That way he don't offend nobody or say nothing that's going to fuck around and get him fired. Smart motherfucker. Smart motherfucker. I sat back and I listened to that shit. I said, this some bitch here right here trying to talk about the Panthers. You don't get caught in that middle way of trying to have people figuring out what the fuck you talking about. You get what I'm saying? Watch these niggas now. I'm trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you without saying it, whether it's offensively or because he said basically defensively they make adjustments. So he's trying to say Everett makes adjustments. He's trying to say that other side of the fucking football ain't making no goddamn adjustments. Watch this nigga now. My name is Q, and I'm a free thinker. This has always been about, I hear you, but there's intentions to every single thing that's being said. There is intentions for, like, if I wake up and I tell a motherfucker, say I'm working with this guy and I know he be fucking shit up every time I work with him. And I said, well, hey, make sure you cover this A, B, Y, and Z. That way, we don't follow no issue. Now, be mindful, he may not do that again, but I'm telling him for a warning subliminally because I know he fucked it up last time. These niggas are saying little subliminal shit and it's going over motherfuckers' heads. It's going over people's heads. All I'm saying is listen to what these folks are saying. Now, this season right here, I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses. When we get in this bitch this year, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't want to hear no excuses because you got to really listen. And I'm saying this for a perspective of niggas already coming up with excuses before the season starts. And trust me, it's being labeled as Panther coach now. It's gonna be this nigga gonna be coming out directly saying, well, Arrow, well, Canales. You gotta watch niggas like that right there. He on the staff now. Watch him. You gotta watch him. What's going on, Jalen?
What it do, man? What it do?
What's going on? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, same thing as you, man. My thoughts on it, which I caught this. He said like simplifying, kind of, and that made me think. I was like, well, I mean, I was thinking of Bryce Young when he said simplifying. So, I mean, it makes sense. Do it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
You know the situation here. You know how our fan base is. You know they take every fucking word you say and they run with it. And you go on a podcast and your dumb ass say this shit right here. Even though you're talking about the East-West Shrine game, you're talking about what's going on here. Why in the fuck would you be caught in 4K? Once again, he was talking about the East-West Shrine game, but the other nigga was trying to tie that shit into the Panthers. And then you label it as a Panther video when you put it up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's...
Watch these
niggas. He shouldn't have done that, man. He should have just kept his mouth closed because now now I'm starting to ask questions, about, everything, which we all knew they were simplifying the offense for Bryce. Even you knew that. Like, we all knew that one.
But Jalen, what in a nutshell, if I take what he said, and he said around the NFL, most of the time with coaches, adjustments are being made. And then he said they want to simplify, not coaching as much as they could. So basically, you think off of talent alone, you're going to come out here and you're going to devise a couple of plays that's going to be able to win you some games around here, thinking that if we simplify it and make it easier. Come on, dog. And JP, you hit that on the head. Once again, why you got to simplify an offensive scheme for a so-called elite processor?
Exactly.
He walks on water.
The mini computer.
He is Microsoft. He is Bill Gates. Why is it we always in this type and this is the crazy thing, Jalen? Where there's smoke, God damn it, where the fucking house is always on fire. Like I said, when you got a nigga coming out here saying shit like this subliminally, this reminds me of that same year where they had coaches doing the Hunger Games environment and shit like that. All I got to say is I'm watching Bates. Like I said, Bates, he's a fired up coach. When it like you remember, whenever they pan the camera on the sideline, who the first person they see? You see Bates. You see him over there running up and down the damn sideline. Now, for an assistant nigga who don't have a voice, you don't ever hear this motherfucker. You see him from time to time on the TV, but for a nigga that you don't ever hear with a voice to come out and start talking all of a sudden about what's going on, you know, alluding to certain things of what you usually would see in the NFL, you better start paying attention. Nigga trying to say something without saying something.
Yeah. And two, you know, also talking about Dave Canales too, in a way.
No, you better not put your black ass lips together talking no goddamn Canales. Because Canales walk on water. There was some games last year that was questionable calls from Canales, but everybody swiped that shit right up under the rug. Because that first time we played Atlanta, I was questioning some of the shit that Canales did. I was like, okay, we didn't make no goddamn third quarter adjustments around this son bitch. But when I said it, then people jump all over my ass. Well, it's not Canales' fault. What you want him to do? Okay, nigga, call a play.
EJ, that's all I've been hearing. EJ fault. Evero.
Well, they're going to put it on Ejiro Evero because that's the scapegoat that they want to put everything on. You know what I'm saying? They thought that nigga was going to get fired by the end of the season last year, Jalen. Ejiro Evero. And it disappointed a bunch of these pansy-ass motherfuckers who was trying to get him out of here. He was disappointed. Them boys are disappointed. They wanted Evero out the door. Well, the defense was bad.
Well,
the man said the defense made a bunch of adjustments. Think about it. When you don't have quality on the field, when you have backups, fourth string, third string backups, and you saying a lot of people saying, well, he in the NFL, that ain't saying nothing. He's not talented. When you got think about it, Sam Franklin is a third stringer. Sam Franklin.
Yep.
You got a nigga that's worse than Sam Franklin out there trying to start. You get what I'm saying? In certain position. How many fucking games you think you're gonna win with a nigga with no talent? They wanted to put it on Ejiro Evero. And then once they realized, okay, Dan Morgan realizes he has a good coach. Well, once again, Vic Fangio. Shout out to him. Had he not won that Super Bowl in such a convincing fashion, you wouldn't be in this situation. You get what I'm saying? You would not be looking at this shit the way you're looking at it because, number one, Evero is a Fangio disciple. You can't sit here and say, hey, this guy don't know defense when the same defense he running wins the fucking Super Bowl. Can't sit here and say he ain't making no damn adjustments.
Yep.
Well, here come the second coming of. Here we go, Ted McMillan Jr.
Yeah. We ain't talking about Ted today. Yeah, that's another day.
Goddamn Ted Jr. in the building.
Hey, I'll get you a number 4 jersey when they get in the building. Don't feel bad. Y'all can all get it.
Burn that motherfucker. Don't give me that.
Listen, man. So correct me if I'm wrong, but did you ever think about simplifying things when he got here?
No.
Not Evero. I mean, Canales.
Yeah. What the fuck is you talking about? You trying to be cute. What the fuck is you talking about?
So now, wasn't Canales talking about simplifying things and making things simple and easy when he got here?
Well, the nigga said just now, the nigga trying to get out of coaching. So take it with a grain of salt. You heard the audio.
So, but follow me here for a second. Didn't Frank Reich and Josh McCown, them guys have to simplify some things year before last too?
They got fired so quick. I didn't know what they simplified.
Well, the play calling and the actual offense itself, they had to simplify certain things because initially they said, our quarterback knew 80% of the playbook. Then when we got in the season, it looked like he knew none of the players.
I don't know what you
So they had
talking
to
about. That
dial
nigga
things
was a
back.
superstar. Fuck you talking about? He was a
Oh,
goddamn
okay.
superstar.
Okay,
He was a
all right, never mind.
godsend.
Hey, yeah, I follow you. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I'm with you. Superstar.
Bryce Young,
Absolutely.
superstar.
Just saying, there's two different coaching staffs that have had to simplify things, but what do I know? Do you
What
got
does
the
that tell
assistant
you,
coach
though?
on TV talking about?
What does that tell you?
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't tell me anything because I don't know shit.
So you trying to
What up?
say there's one? Oh, what's up, Torn? What's up?
What's up, Q? 336, Jalen.
Common motherfucker in there that you're trying to get to. You trying to say it's because of Bryce Young they got to simplify everything? Is what you trying to say, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, you can take whatever you want from it. I'm just saying there's two coaching staffs that have been talking about simplifying things. Then you got an assistant coach that go on a podcast or whatever this is, and he's kind of repeating the same thing, but he seems like he got an issue with it. So it is what it is, I just thought that was kind of strange.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing. Y'all talk shit about Frank Reich, say he was the worst coach ever, and now y'all want to look to him for a reference to say, well, he was trying to simplify the offense for this boy. He was trying.
No.
Y'all talk
Frank
dirt
I'm
shit
not
about
one of
that
the Frank
man.
Reich haters. Yeah, I'm not one of the Frank Reich haters. Yeah, I'm not one of them guys.
I am. Frank Reich was
Here we go.
trash.
Here we go.
That motherfucker was trash, bro. It was
Oh,
trash. He should have never had the job, man. You go out.
In what way?
Look, I mean, he was already he was on the downside, or he was declining over there with Indianapolis, and then you get replaced by.
Now put context.
No, hey, nigga, you told me that. You told me to explain, nigga. Let me do it. Hey, look, I'm see 3-3. Hey, look, 3-3-6. 3-3-6. What I'm not gonna do with your ass today is I'm not gonna answer the question the way you want me to answer the question.
If you're gonna tell the story, tell the whole story. That's all I'm asking.
Nah, look, I'm gonna tell it the way I want to tell it, nigga.
Yeah, but you're
For
gonna
me.
you're leaving out information to mislead people when you
but see, the thing is, I'm telling you
podcast,
why.
you have the responsibility
See what I'm
as a
saying?
podcaster.
See what I'm saying with this nigga, bro?
Yeah, but it's the truth. You're a
Look,
podcaster.
it's not. Hey, but listen. But are you right? But listen to this. He said, "What was my opinion of why?" Look. When my part includes, I don't have to. I don't want to add context. He was trash. Motherfucker was dirt. And then he got replaced by Jeff Saturday, and this motherfucker was on ESPN at the time. So they didn't even really go look for it. Look, man, Frank Reich took the Carolina job because a motherfucker was dumb enough to give it to him.
Or was that a trash coach? Because it sounds like a dumb ownership decision to me.
It was both. It was a dumb decision by ownership. And look, it's just like if they would have offered me and you that job 336, we would have took it. Even if we wasn't good. Man, look, we're gonna turn that job down, man. It's free money.
100%.
But it doesn't mean he was the right man to be up. That nigga was garbage. He was trash. He was garbage truck juice. Now, if y'all feel differently, if y'all feel differently, that's on y'all.
I absolutely feel
differently. I know. This is not. That's just my opinion. Yours might be different.
Situation in Indianapolis. Now he brought out some of the best football from an age Phillip Rivers. He brought out some decent football in the beginning from an age Matt Ryan. His best quarterback was Andrew Luck. So I don't think it was necessarily trash. I think his quarterback quit on him randomly, and then they scrambled trying to replace that guy with old veterans.
I don't think he was trash either. I don't think he's trash. I just think he's just one of those coaches with no backbone. You know what I'm saying? And he's stubborn. Just a stubborn coach. You want to run his system and his system only. He's not one of those coaches that's gonna adjust to the talent. He got a certain type of quarterback that he wants and a certain system that he wants to run. I mean, and if you fit that system, I think he can be successful in that system. But I wouldn't call him trash. I just think he's just one of those stubborn ass coaches that ain't gonna
Well,
ain't gonna. You know what I'm saying?
first of all, shout out to D'Angelo. That's my guy, man. Ain't seen him, and it was good. I mean, I'm still broke. I'm still broken hearted over here about the Duke shit, but that's on another day. But
I
listen,
don't even want to talk about that shit. She got me.
that's on another day. Listen, but listen. Another reason why Frank Reich was trash is this: if you take the fucking job, you ain't got nothing to lose with the Carolina Panthers, right? Why the fuck? Like he had no spine, and that's one of the things that Dale just said. Plus he didn't have no spine. You are a new head coach, and 336 said how good you was with Indianapolis when you did things when times were good. Why would you let a fucking owner tell you who you gonna take at first? You already signed the goddamn contract. Then let them fire you and then take the money, and then you don't have to coach at all. You're gonna let the owner that don't know shit about football tell you who to take at first.
Well,
Now, I would like you to name one head coach who's done something like that.
That didn't do what the heck the owner told him to do. I can't name a person offhand, but it's been coaches that's done that.
Hold on, 336. Ask that question again. You said name a coach. What now?
That's going to deliberately go against ownership and expect anything good to come from it.
It's happened before, bro.
This happened. I mean, I remember.
Is the only one we know.
I remember back in the day when Vince Young came out. Jeff Fisher didn't want Vince Young. That was the goddamn owner that wanted Vince Young. I remember that.
That's true.
Yeah, and Jeff Fisher made that boy life a living hell.
Yeah.
He did. He tried him to be terrible.
That's why.
It's a couple situations, but that's the one I can remember right off the bat.
Yeah, I agree. And basically what I'm saying is it's rare that you have those type of situations. That's all.
Well, look, what I'm saying, 336, what's the worst that could happen to him if he would have went against Temple? He already signed the contract.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And this contract
hey man,
is fully
fuck
guaranteed.
that Bryce Young shit.
Shout out to Red Swan for that super chat. He said, powerful niggatry within the first 30 minutes. We appreciate you over there, cuz. You already know what time it is. Yes, sir. Frank Wright got the raw end of the stick when it came to we speaking on simply adjustments and different stuff like that. When your hands are both tied and you don't know what to do with what you have, you're in a position where you're going to fucking get fired. And I love Canales. A lot of people always tell me I'm wrong on this shit right here.
Wait a minute, Q, you said what? You love Canales?
I'm trying to get to a point, motherfucker.
Okay, go ahead.
I love Canales, aka, which that's just shit people say. But if he keeps fucking with Bryce Young, he gonna be a fired nigga.
Yeah, man.
I don't think it's optional at this point, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Though. He got to ride with the momentum that Bryce built at the end of last year. He ain't got no choice but to ride with Bryce. You know what I'm saying? This Bryce making a break a year. You know what I'm saying? Bryce gotta perform this. If he don't perform, his ass is up out of here. You know what I'm saying? He gotta play like he did at the end of last year. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
Canales need to have something added to his contract saying, I told y'all motherfuckers that I wanted this motherfucker to stay bench. Please don't fire me if he don't turn out to be whatever. This is your choice.
Exactly what I was getting to, Twan. His fate is tied to Bryce Young's fate. If Bryce Young comes out and have a bad year this year, I hope y'all know Canales' ass. If they cutting Bryce and they say, okay, well, you ain't shit, y'all bullshit. His fate is tied to that boy because
he benched him last year, man.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Last year. He came back. He played.
Agreed to try and fix that boy.
I think you know what I'm saying? No, I don't think he's tied to Bryce. I think if Bryce shit in the bed this year,
think about what Tampa gonna say, D'Angelo. Think about what
Tampa
gonna say. Well, we hired you strictly for Bryce Young. So if he ain't here, we don't need you. We can go find another coach that can come out here and get his own quarterback.
But you can't put a third coaching staff with this guy. You can't.
Yeah. Say what? 36?
You gonna put a third coaching staff with the same quarterback, and then you gonna blame the third coaching staff too?
But that's what I'm saying. He
That's what they'll
showed you
do.
when he benched Bryce that he ain't necessarily tied to Bryce. He showed you that when he benched him. So
Yep.
I think
Hey, man.
if Bryce shit in the bed, Canals will get an opportunity to get his quarterback of his choosing. He not gonna be out of here if Bryce shit in bed. I promise you that he won't be out of here.
David Tepper's made some crazy decisions, but I don't take him as an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
Like I think he could probably
When it comes to
Canal.
when it comes to decision making, he's an idiot.
With the decision. Maybe as far as football terms, but I don't think that him analyzing this situation, he can honestly say a third coaching staff is going to make Bryce Young better. Like I don't take him as that type of fool.
Yeah. He's that type of fool. He is. What he'll do. What they'll do is they'll look at analytics and they'll say the analytics say that Bryce Young will be able to flourish year 3 if he have A, B, Y, and Z. So maybe we need to make a change. They'll start doing shit like that versus, looking at the tea leaves of what this nigga actually is. He's not good.
When you out here tossing cognac on motherfuckers at games, you fucking stupid.
He could be getting in the scrap fest with fans after a while.
I'm with him on that. I'm with him on that.
Fucking well, you different. You different. You different.
Yeah,
And if that motherfucker would have came, through that window on your ass 336, then we'd be talking about you today,
Me
bro.
and David Temple would have whooped his ass. We would have whooped his ass right up there together.
Man, Mr. Potato Head ain't beating nobody's ass, bro. That nigga don't even look like he can fight.
He gonna bail me out. I bet you.
They gonna toss his hunted up the ass. Come on, man.
Yeah.
They get ready. He
would have bailed me out.
Where does David Temple love come from?
It's not about that. It's certain things that you can see that he's actually learning from, and that's the reason why I don't believe that he's honestly going to put a third coaching staff with this dude if he comes out this year looking the same.
Yeah. This is on Bryce, right? Either Bryce either he gonna barbecue a meal dude. This the year for him to barbecue a meal dude. I don't see, you know what I'm saying? Tepper know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? It's your 3rd year. I mean, if you can't do it now, then you can't do it. Especially if the team looks functional. You know what I'm saying? The team looks like it has gotten better, and Bryce is the problem. Nah, he out of here.
Oh no, I agree. I don't think Canales' fate is tied to Bryce because he benched him.
Right.
Like, man, I tried to tell y'all I don't want to fuck with this dude, bro. Come on, man. This y'all guy. Y'all told me to come over here and fix him. I can't fix him. So what you want me to do now?
Go to the office.
This go back to the Frank Reich and again why. So that's what it is. So they brought Frank Reich in. All right, so they got rid of Frank Reich with Bryce, right? And then they're going to bring in Canales to try to fix Bryce. And then on top of this shit, they won't even go out there and get a quarterback to even compete with the motherfucker, bro. That's all on Tepper. So Canales is like, at least let me get somebody in here that's going to scare the motherfucker a little bit in practice so we can get the best out of him. No, we're going to shatter his confidence if we do that.
I will give Bryce credit for this. He showed that he can perform under pressure. You know what I'm saying? I give him that. He came back and he played a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? So so he might be one of those guys. He needs somebody to, you know what I'm saying, to be looking over his shoulder.
He need that pressure. Yeah, he need that pressure though, D.
He needs it. Yeah, he need it.
Well, Bryce said that he's internally motivated, not externally. So,
man,
say what?
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said.
Hey, I'm just believing what he said. He said
he didn't believe that shit, though.
Yeah,
he say that shit. He say that shit 336, but I don't believe that shit one bit.
Oh, hey, what's the saying he said? Break it down for me.
He said that he is internally motivated, not externally. So things outside of him don't really motivate him.
Yeah. The all that talk and people talking shit about him, that don't motivate him.
I'll tell you why he say internally motivated. And let me make a disclaimer by saying this, like, this is not to piss nobody off. I'm not saying anything against anybody. Only a dumbass would take this the wrong way. But when Bryce says that shit, he's just talking about his faith in God, bro. You know what I'm saying? But God don't choose winners. God don't choose winners and losers on football teams, man. You
Right,
know. But
right.
if that's if
He
that's what
trained
he,
it.
if that's what yeah, if that's what he does to move him, then great. But don't make it seem like God is giving you special attention over other football players or something like that or whatever. It does take skill.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, that shit sound good, but that's some bullshit.
Yeah. So they gonna get winners on that alone. People gonna be like, "You right, I
Mm-hmm.
got your side," but God got everybody's side, man. Price is the guy. He's a Christian. That's a check for a lot of people. He's a nice guy. That's a check for a lot of people. He seems,
Yeah,
like he's a good Negro. That's a check for a lot of
Oh, come
people.
on, man.
relatable. He's relatable.
Yeah,
He's relatable.
he ain't
He don't.
cocky. That's a check for a lot of
No.
Negroes.
Not only that, it's the fact that most football players look like titans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Bryce looks like the average
he's the little
everyday guy.
guy.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
average everyday guy. You know what I'm saying?
that's why they love him. He's the little
Yeah,
guy. He's the guy that looks like me, and he
yeah, right,
walk around with book bags and shit. And
right.
that's
He's a little cookie.
Pigeon,
yeah.
pigeon food and shit, and all that.
He's a little cookie.
Now, as far as us and our demographic, we don't give a fuck about that shit. Man, can he play?
Right.
Hey, look, we see these motherfucking animals coming out of college. We're like, I want him. I don't want the little motherfucker. So, fuck a Bryce.
Then they say
You
Bryce
think
Young
you,
better
you
than
think
CJ
Bryce's
Stroud
leash
too.
is just unlimited?
Is what?
Yes, I do think his leash is unlimited. I think he can do anything right now he wants to and won't have no pushback or drawback. Like
You only got 1 year to do
he can lose
it.
every game this fucking season, and I think they'll sign that boy to a long-term extension.
No, he out of
Oh,
here.
come on, man.
No, he out of here.
Yeah.
He better win at least 7 or 8 this year. He's gone, bro.
That boy
Yeah,
could lose every game.
He better throw for at least 3,500 yards.
At the least.
They love him so much.
Oh, he's out of here.
See, y'all don't understand.
Then he just start making the team look stupid.
It's not about winning around here. It's about
it appears that way.
Have the most marketable nigga that we can put out there to sell jerseys. It's all about money here. It's not about winning at this franchise. Clearly.
No.
Yeah.
them motherfucking number 9 jerseys gonna get burned up after this year, man. That's D'Angelo. Them bitches gonna be in a pile, bro.
Y'all both gonna be disappointed because that boy will be here long term.
You still got the G babies of the world.
Man, let them keep his shit. Let him walk around with that. Let him walk around with that jersey on after we get rid of his ass. So we gonna joke the shit out of his ass, bro.
Twan, you got grown ass men trying to suck Bryce Young dick.
But he's a loser. He's a loser.
No, literally, they are grown men that saying they love this nigga to death. They'd take a bullet for this man.
You know what? Q, a lot of that shit is AI because I see that with a lot of players, man. That's AI shit. A lot of players, you see them same comments. That's bots.
Nah,
a lot of
D'Angelo, when you click on
It
his
is
profile,
some of that shit is bots, bro.
Yeah, a lot of it's bots, man. I see that. I see the same kind of comments with a lot of players, man. A lot of it's bots. Now it ain't all bots, but a lot of it's bots.
D'Angelo, there's a man that said he was gonna take his life. Now I put it on the screen. He said
we know
life
that ain't true.
with Bryce.
Who said this?
That'll be the dumbest nigga on the planet.
Tom, you was there the day I read that shit out, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. I said I don't believe that shit is real. I said that nigga be the dumbest nigga on the planet. Who gonna explain that at the funeral, bro? Who gonna explain
Well, I
that?
remember.
What did he say? Take his life for? What did he say?
Boy, he loved. Hey, Q, he loved himself some Bryce Young, bro. I tell you that.
He said, Bryce Young, I love the way you spin the football. He said, you being here changes my life. Without you, I would kill myself. The nigga said, And I remember I'm going off of memory right now. The nigga said, "Every day what you hear is a day that I can cherish. That way I can live going forward."
Bro.
And
Yeah, it was
I
something like
said,
that.
these niggas writing love letters and shit to Bryce Young under the Instagram. Just go to Instagram and look up under the posts, and you just look at some of the weirdest little niggas, and they grown thug ass niggas talking crazy. These some ass niggas holding guns and shit talking crazy.
I just don't agree. I just don't believe them niggas mean that shit.
That's them Meek
Bro,
Mill.
if the Panthers didn't cut the
Mills.
comments off, you would be able to see it on their page.
Yeah.
You can see
I
this
believe
shit.
it. I do believe so because that's the type of shit G Baby say. So I believe it.
That's bad. That's
Thank you,
bad,
Panama
bro.
Queen. There you go. Panama Queen said some dude said Bryce Young was handsome and he loves his hair. It's some of the weirdest little shit.
Oh
Like,
nah. When I
hit
seen the
home for
nigga
Bryce
say,
Young.
"IQ," you remember when I So D'Angelo, I don't know if you know about with this one, but I told Q, I sent it to Q, I think, but we couldn't put it up because of the nature of the video. It was a nigga with a damn 12-inch dildo slapping his lips with it, saying this is Bryce.
What?
Niggas be saying all kind of
He
wild shit.
he said this is me, Bryce Young, and slapped his lips with the with the dildo.
This is the
Hey, we just couldn't put that
fan
shit up.
base. This fan base has a love affair for Bryce Young that's darkly weird. It's eerie. It's like
it's dark, bro.
Borderline gay.
It's like P. Diddy energy, basically.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
weird
be
shit.
honest with y'all. I'm convinced that some of these guys had to have followed him from Alabama because we didn't have any of that going on around here.
Right.
We did not
I
have
think
any of that.
I agree.
We did.
I agree.
We had a little bit of it with Baker. We had a little bit of it with Baker, but not to this degree.
Not to the point. They wasn't talking about Baker ass and trying to rub his nuts and shit. No,
it was all about football. It was all about football. Bro.
I ain't gonna let you put that on Baker. Baker winning in Tampa Bay, and they still ain't talking about that nigga like that in Tampa Bay.
No.
Shit.
Some of these guys must have followed him from Alabama, and they just became Panthers fans, I guess, because I've never seen any of that around here. I ain't never seen
that nigga got drafted in that pink suit. It's a bunch of rainbow motherfuckers that's coming out. I ain't asking no question. And then all of a sudden, this mysterious little girlfriend that all of a sudden she fucking some basketball player out the blue.
So he got a soft voice too. He got a soft voice too.
I don't believe none of that shit, man. I don't.
Yes, I gotta be better.
That's what that shit is. Shout out to CJ Hill for that super chat though. He said we are 36-80 since Tepper bought the franchise.
He's the biggest loser in sports. He's the biggest loser in sports right now. Nobody's worse than him.
He ain't no bigger loser than the Charlotte Hornets.
Nah, he's worse. They got a better win percentage.
That's a damn shame.
They neck and neck shit. Both of them.
They're right there. They right there neck and neck. Yeah.
That nigga say it's mauve, Q. It's mauve, not pink. I'll be damn.
Damn, bro. It was mauve, but to point that out is crazy.
But this is the thing, bro. This is the thing. All right. So Tepper is an extremely rich billionaire guy, right? So when he came here, he wanted to do things his way, and we all know that. It didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take him some time as a arrogant billionaire to learn that he has to sit back and let people who know what they're doing do what they do. And I think he's starting to see that. Now you're going to have to start getting some results out of that.
At what point do you say, okay, I'm fucking shit up so bad? The people that's believing in the franchise are starting to walk away. Because I'm seeing Panther fans is walking away from this motherfucker now. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
We in a funk. You got some loyalists that's still here, but some of these niggas is hauling ass.
I'm too invested, bro. I can't walk.
One of the dudes came on here.
That's what he's learning now, I believe.
What does that say about me?
Twan, think about it. It ain't like we had a year or two of losing. We done had 7 years of losing going on.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this though. It was win a year, lose the next, win a year, lose the next. Now it's just all losing.
And that was
And that
prior
was
to
enough
David
to keep
Tepper as
people
well.
invested.
Yeah, that was prior to David Tepper.
Brother Leo, what's going on?
Man, salutations, gentlemen.
What's
Salutations.
going on?
Nothing much. Sorry ass faggot. Oh, can you say? Oh, my bad. I can't say that shit on YouTube.
There we
My bad,
go.
brother. My
Say
bad.
what
My
you want. Let
bad.
me get the bleep machine together.
My bad. No, brother. Sorry. No. I'm sorry, bro. No. Yeah, DJ, my
He
bad.
said, "Let me get the bleep machine."
Yeah. Gay ass Panther fan. I told y'all, man. I told that shit weird. And it's beyond weird because weird is like something that you don't know. Like, oh wow, that's weird. Like the sky is like turquoise. Like, wow, that is weird. But we know motherfuckers talking about drinking bath water and motherfuckers slapping dildos. That ain't nothing weird about that. We know what that is. That's gay shit. I mean, there's nothing weird about that. Like that's
But Leo,
homoerotic
have you seen that
bullshit, though.
around here before though? Like,
Never,
have you
but that's
seen
a
that
good
prior
point,
to
though.
Bryce
That's a good
around here?
point what you made, brother. And like I say, when you said that, I was like, that's probably some Bryce Young, Alabama holdover shit. But also, brother, let me tell you, they new fans, but if you look at the generation now that's behind some of us, I mean, I'm considered to be a
That's a
little
fact.
older,
That's a fact.
but the
That's a
generation
fact.
behind most of us, they soft, you know. They don't mind fucking painting their nails and being in their fucking feelings and all this
Oh
shit.
hell no!
Yeah,
Oh
bro.
hell
That's what
It's
I'm saying.
no!
being
I
it's
might be
being
just
taught
saying
though.
something. I mean, you know,
You're
I
right.
might be wrong.
I don't judge
You're
nobody,
right. It's
Leo,
being taught.
but this faggot shit is really starting to get on my goddamn nerves, man. You can't turn your head without looking at these motherfuckers around here. Oh, Bryce.
Yeah. This shit is
Bryce.
crazy, man. Like,
Boy, straighten your ass up, boy.
but they not, brother. They not gonna straighten up and win or lose. It don't matter if this motherfucker lose. They still gonna ride with him because but like I said, Q, I said this shit a while ago, and people on other platforms, bless her, I don't mean to disrespect nobody, but I said this shit was effeminate and motherfuckers got mad and they say you calling me out. No, I'm not saying nobody directly, but when you tie your emotions to a motherfucking stranger, especially as a man to another man, that shit is abnormal behavior. Especially the motherfuckers love Tom Brady. Tom Brady, but he did some shit. I ain't saying the motherfuckers with some gay shit, but Tom Brady, I ain't never seen that shit. You see women goggle over him, but I ain't never seen no men Google over a motherfucking man, and he ain't winning.
But
And
it
Leo,
would be
think about it.
understandable if it was Brady. You get what I'm saying? Because this nigga done went how many Super Bowls?
Yeah.
But Q, think about it though. As much as people love Cam around here, and still to this day, right? It was never a physical thing. It was always football.
Yeah, it was always it was never a fetish.
It's
It's a fetish with
it's
Bryce.
still football.
Yeah, it's still
It's
football.
still football.
Yeah, nobody, like you said, nobody ever said nothing about Cam's physicality, his physical demeanor, his stature. Nobody mentioned. They just say Cam, he a good Cam is a beast. They can't hold him. But all this
Oh, he a
Bryce
big
shit,
dude or whatever.
yeah, that's the most motherfuckers say. Cam, big motherfucker, man. I ain't gonna say nothing to him. But all this fucking homoerotic shit with this motherfucker, like you said, I called and talked to y'all because y'all my peers with the football shit. But to be honest, like I say, I don't support the fucking Panthers because I don't support that gay shit, man. I mean, if it wasn't for that's good for y'all. I ain't got no problem. Of course, it don't fucking matter. But I'm just saying, me personally, because of the weak shit with Bryce, once they get rid of Bryce, I'm gonna come on back home. But with this motherfucker, man, no, man, fuck that shit, man. No, I can't.
Well, they forcing it down everybody's throat down here. Pause. I didn't mean that like that, but you know what I'm
Fuck
saying.
the
They
motherfuckers, man. He
forcing it on
forcing it down the
everybody.
motherfucker's throat, man.
So let me say this, Q. So
What's up?
you remember I came on the show several times, and definitely on my show I said several times. I said these motherfuckers keep trying to pass this shit off as pop coaching, and maybe it is to an extent. Maybe it is to an extent because, like Leo said, you got niggas that's wearing nails now with the paint and all that shit or whatever. I remember going way back when I was on the other show, and then Leo was over there when we was like we already had like the gay dude on the cheerleading squad, but we was like for the most part, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? He wears shorts. That's their thing. We ain't really care for it. But then when they brought in, the situation, we know what it is. The dude that wanted it to be a chick, you know what I'm saying? And then they started making all the pride t-shirts and all that shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on in Charlotte, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Bible
saying?
Beltway is now it
And it's supposed to
changing
be
for pride.
yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
This supposed to be the Bible. Like
I hate
the
to do
Bible
this.
Beltway don't get down with none of that shit. So then when Bryce came,
Charlotte is real transient now, though, Twan.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
That's
people
what I'm-
move to Charlotte from other places.
That's what I'm
It's just
saying.
like,
So when-
Charlotte, like, and it ain't what like 230 miles or 300 miles from the gay TL. So I mean, hey,
Nah, it's only 3. So when Bryce came, man, I'm just like, man, like, because we didn't see it yet. We didn't see it until all these people came out. It started off just defending him, and then it just turned into motherfuckers, this spooky shit, and all this. I'm seeing dudes comment more than the females on this nigga, and niggas was like, when he got his bitch taken, niggas was like, don't worry about her, nigga, you can bounce right back, or I'll be your girlfriend, and all that other bullshit. I was like, man, the fuck is we doing, bro? Y'all seen it? I seen it.
I really hate to do
I
this.
seen it.
All jokes aside, I really hate
You think some of these soft ass niggas gonna want to bidet Bryce out here?
That's fucking. I'll be your girlfriend. Get the fuck out of here.
Not last year. It was the year before. It was the off season. It was basketball season, just like right now.
God.
Of all NBA games to be at, Bryce Young, I believe it was Sacramento Kings. He was sitting right there.
At the saw that game. Yep, at the Pride game, sitting in front row.
All NBA,
front row.
82 NBA games, bro. 82 NBA games.
That he was what game?
He was at that Sacramento game, front row, in the Pride game. Because I texted out on Twitter.
Get the fuck
yeah. I look, because I texted on Twitter. I said, this motherfucker sitting at this Pride game. He ain't even working on his craft.
Man,
this was an all-season game. It was last year.
Games, bro.
They could have went to anyone.
It was last year. It was last year.
Wow.
That might be one of the reasons why old girl didn't want to fuck with that nigga no more, bro. She was like, nigga, you doing some wild shit. I'm going to go over here and fuck with your boy in Philadelphia.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, would any of y'all be surprised if he came out and said he was that way?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I
would sit back and say, well, it's about fucking time, dog. Cause I can feel it.
Yeah. I would say, well, God,
it's a lot of niggas in the league already hiding that shit. They saw what happened to that Sam's nigga. They's like, nah, bro, I can't.
They got the white dude who played for the Raiders. They got a whole bunch of gay motherfuckers now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but they just don't come out.
The white dude from the Raiders came out.
And that was just him. Who else? I want to know. Say who else?
Oh man, I saw someone on the internet the other day.
Them motherfuckers ain't gonna tell. Them niggas ain't coming out like that, bro. Them motherfuckers saw what happened to damn Sam's, that. Yeah, they said you kiss that motherfucker one more time on TV, we done with your ass.
That's
Michael Sam.
They ESPN
he kissed him one too. Yeah, he kissed him one more too many times and his ass was done. Niggas wouldn't even take showers with his ass no more.
But Twan, I hear you though, man. But that shit is widely accepted, man. It's a whole heap of them motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you.
Because the NFL is pushing it.
That shit is open like a motherfucker, man. Because if you think about the dynamics of it, for every third person is one of them. That's the statistic.
Nigga, the NFL is pushing it. You selling fucking colorful T-shirts for every team?
I'm talking about on the teams though. I know they pushing that shit big time, but motherfuckers playing football because it's a whole bunch of them motherfuckers big and bold and work out, man. The motherfuckers building the motherfucker, man.
But shit, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be done with it. But that's some bullshit. I feel like some way you gotta motherfucking announce that shit at least to the team. Nigga, I don't want to be in no big, them large shower areas where you get. I don't want to be in that shower, nigga, and you looking around and shit. Fuck all that, bro. I should know. I should have the right to know, bro.
I got you, but hey, I hear you.
Because you look up and the nigga staring right at you, it's gonna be a problem in that motherfucker, bro.
It's gonna be a problem for your ass because they're gonna be
Hey,
looking.
man.
Nah,
Nah, I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is you looking at?
they
I'm gonna
gonna
leave that
cut.
shit
They gonna
alone,
you
though,
cut.
bro.
You cut, motherfucker. You
Hey, Q,
homophobe your ass out
hey,
of here, man.
Q, you probably gonna have to delete this from this episode right here.
Oh, no, the fuck I ain't.
He
I
said
don't
no
care.
fucking
Tell LGBT to be all
The
right.
one thing I will tell you is they can't make them expose themselves because it would be technically, I guess, discrimination.
That's discrimination?
Yeah,
Nah,
that's
man,
what
don't get me
exactly. That's what I'm
started, bro.
saying, Swan. Like they could
It's
sue in a
discrimination for
minute.
you to be looking up. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
Hey, just
Yeah.
give me the
The
personal.
homoerotic shit with Bryce Young is just really it's saddening because the team, they need. It's crazy though, man. Like I ain't never in my life seen no shit like this in my life. But it's a
I
sign of the
guarantee.
times, though.
I guarantee you, this nigga still live with his parents, bro. I guarantee it.
Oh my gosh, Twan, don't say that, bro. Dude, how are you a
Who you
millionaire?
think Bryce live alone, bro?
I
You
think he
really
do
think
though.
Bryce
I
live
think he
alone?
do. I'm gonna tell you why because they never show Bryce out and about in Charlotte area.
Ever.
They never
Ever.
show him doing nothing.
He don't do nothing, probably.
That
But
nigga with his
damn, I
parents,
mean,
bro.
you
His
ain't got to.
presence is necessarily warranted in the city, though.
That nigga still got a room in the house. He ain't got a house.
That nigga,
I'm
he
going
got
to
a
my
lot of money
room,
in the
mom.
bank, man.
Imagine being a millionaire still living with my parents.
I mean,
Bro.
this is about
Heck
choice,
no.
though. This is about choice.
Yeah, they ain't making him. I guarantee you they ain't making him do shit.
Oh, heck no.
That girl probably went to his house. You still live with your parents? Oh, hell no. I'm out.
Wow. Yeah, man. That's and you know how the media the last 2.5 years have been coddling this dude, giving excuses for him, saying it's the organization's fault. Like, damn, the organization was throwing the interceptions, the organization was fumbling. Like, oh, he didn't have the right pieces around him. It's like, damn, I ain't only time I see motherfucker make an excuse for a motherfucker that's handicapped. That's the only time I can see a justification for somebody making excuses for an adult. But
And
it's
as far as the
unfucking
pieces
real, man.
around him, I don't think the pieces around him was as bad as his performance.
No, sir, not at all. The Panthers fan base, the logical fan base saw that it wasn't the pieces around him. But nowadays, liberal sports media, the darling, the face, they never gonna take responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. And that's really sad
Yeah,
because
Ryan Clark,
It is
Stephen
sad.
A, all of them.
yeah, and they have other Daniel Jeremiah, all these other individuals that blame the Panthers fan. Like the team had a winning record before he came. When he come, we won 2 games, and you gonna put that on the team?
Yep.
Like that's bullshit. That's not even logical. That's emotion. That's not reason. That's all emotion based.
Yeah. Try to tell people all the time.
They're gonna blame
Yo,
the fan base this year. Yeah, it's gonna
You
be
said
our
they're gonna
fault
blame
this
the
year.
fan base?
my
That's
friend
the. I mean, who else you got left? You done blame the pieces, the coaching staff, the organization. Who else you got left?
But that's gonna turn the fan base off then.
I mean, I don't know what else can you blame at this point? Everybody has been blamed. The defense been blamed. Defensive coaching staff.
Yeah.
Everybody has
Defense
been
last
blamed at
year.
this
It was
point.
defense, yeah. Coaching staff year before. Players, they drafted mofos for him. They're gonna draft some more mofos for him. They got the coach.
No, right?
Yeah, it's sad, man. The Panthers, the team is in a bad spot, man. It's like purgatory, man.
They are.
It's purgatory, man. It's a gift and a curse. Bryce is popular, but he don't fucking win. It's just like the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo popular, but the team helping the team fucking win. Shit crazy, man.
Charlotte is slowly turning into the fucking salvage yard of sports.
Yeah.
It really is, bro. The
You said the
Hornets
what?
ain't shit. They're turning into a salvage yard of sports.
Oh God!
Like these
Fucking
motherfuckers
record.
ain't got number broken parts and shit out just laying around, bro.
Just laying
It's
around.
like
And that's why
the
I'm
Hornets
telling
ain't
you,
shit.
there's no way There's no way they can sign him to a long-term deal at this point if he don't perform this year.
That's what I'm saying.
And I would even make him. I would even make him do
Charlotte
it
need
2
a
years in a row.
Charlotte need a winner right now, bro. They need a motherfucking winner.
That little baseball team doing right? Oh no, they just started. So.
No, they just started. That soccer team just really just got started.
But the thing is, though, about Charlotte is, well, both sides too. Their health department is terrible for basketball and football. It's bad. I mean,
the health department.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the? Oh. Well, I mean, but no. What with the basketball player, his herky jerky style of play, it always gonna put pressure on them ankles because he's not. You
talking about LaMelo?
Yeah, his style of play, his ankles are always going to be compromised because he's not a fluid type of basketball player. He's herky jerky. He uses.
Leo, look at his brother.
Well, that's something. Well, yeah. His brother got to get
injured.
Yeah, and so on Charlotte, I'm like, they should have moved off this dude last year, but I don't think he'll be in the team next year because this is a reoccurring thing, and they can't keep him on the team, man.
Yeah, Golden State tried to get LaMelo, but Hornets
Really?
didn't want to give him up.
What?
Because they didn't want to be completely trash. They wouldn't have had no winners on that team, bro.
Man, they should send his ass to Golden State before they got Butler.
Yeah.
Man, they stupid, man. Well, that's crazy. Man, get the fuck, man. Well, they learned their lesson now.
Look, man. The Panthers ain't been shit. Like, y'all think I'm like, motherfucker was like, like, damn, Twan, like, I did a whole show like 2 years ago. I said I called it the Cam curse. Man, this team just simply ain't been shit since Cam Newton. I don't give a fuck how y'all try to wrap this shit up.
Well,
I'm not saying Cam would have made it any better or whatever, but since they fired that man and the way that they did it, we ain't been shit since. We broke 5 wins once.
I don't think
so. Hater love Cam. It was better times when he was here. No. I'm just saying that, putting that out there in a facetious way. Like, it ain't no real curse, but damn, it's really starting to look like one. It's a decision
making for a long time though. It's been a decision for so long.
That shit turned a lot of people off too, bro.
Well, David Tepper, he came in as a new owner, and he had his vision, for the team wasn't, it was it was all haste with him. It was haste.
So his vision is shit.
No, he wants to win, but his vision, he didn't build a foundation. He just thought I could come in and just put this shit together.
You don't come in and get rid of you don't come in and get rid of an MVP 2 years removed. Like, that's one of your first acts.
Well, Twan, I had to push back on the MVP because they was going to move off his ass, but who didn't want to draft Justin Herbert? The general manager
was, 3 years, 4 years after that.
Marty Hurney tried to get him to do that. They wouldn't do it.
Cam was on his decline when we played against New Orleans. That Thursday night game, man, it wasn't good.
Cam was just hurt, man, because he went over to New England and threw a damn 500-yard game, bro. It was just hurt, and that was with the backups, Leo. That was with the fucking backups. They weren't even the stars. Weren't even on the field.
You don't believe Cam was on a decline though?
Mac Jones for a reason.
He was an MVP, Cam, but like, damn, he was 2 years removed. My thing is, it was a decision at that time, bro. I try to preface it by saying Cam might not have made a difference. I'm not saying Cam would have won us more games. It's all that after all they did, all that shit. It's just like, man, we went fucking downhill from there. From the first thing he did fucked up was hiring Matt Rule. And then you made motherfucking Federer. Then you made Federer the GM.
I think Matt Rule was a good hire, Twan. I think Matt Rule was a good hire.
No, hell no.
Carolina didn't get Sam Darnold from Minnesota. They got the Jet Sam Darnold. But if we'd had Sam Darnold from Minnesota, the team would have been better.
But all Matt Rule has ever proven to do throughout his career is make your team get you guys a few more wins than you got. He was just a builder. He wasn't a winner. He was just a builder.
He's not an
Yeah.
X and O's guy. He is a players coach, meaning that he needed a really good offensive coordinator to run the system. He needed a really
But
good
they said-
defensive coordinator to run the system.
They
But they
had the
said that-
defensive coordinator. It's just a stroke of bad luck on the quarterback play. Teddy Bridgewater, if the defense was a lot better, Teddy could have got the Panthers at least 10 wins, but the defense wasn't that they didn't get enough turnover. They weren't dominant.
That was, in my opinion, that was one of the worst groups of coaches. You got Matt Rule, who wasn't for the. You got Phil Snow over there, his old ass, and then you went and got a guy to be your. Let me finish. But listen, and then you went and got an offensive coordinator who was nothing but a pass coordinator at LSU. He was never an offensive coordinator.
But Twan, you got to be careful because
listen, I'm going to explain it, Leo. Sit tight. Leo, sit tight though. Let me explain it to you. I'm talking about at the time, not now. I'm talking about at the time. And then the first time shit started going wrong, what did Matt Rule do? He put it all on Brady. He blamed Brady. Brady was the scapegoat to keep him going.
But Twan, that's what I'm saying though. As a players coach, as like a player motivator,
I'm saying when you don't get the right people, then you can wind up being salvaged.
Say that again, Twan. Say that again. If you don't know with the players, it's predicated on the players because my man over there finna be a head coach in 2 years, or he gonna be an offensive coach. Well, he gonna be a head coach in 2 years. If Josh Allen keep playing the way he playing, then somebody gonna make Joe Brady a head coach.
But guess what though? Yeah. He should be by then. But Leo, so that means he would have been in the league almost 8-9 years before he became a head coach. That's agreeable. That's doable. That's agreeable.
That's in 2 years, but the quarterback that he's coaching, like Josh Allen's a great quarterback, so it's predicated on the quarterback. Why you think Carolina got their coach now? Because Baker had a phenomenal year when Canales was the offensive coordinator.
Hold up. I agree with that, but Canales was also the best we could get, and we can't keep not dismissing that. Nobody wanted to coach for this motherfucker.
But he was considered because of Baker's play.
Right. But that was good for us because this dude might actually turn out to be somebody. But we're not gonna pretend like that wasn't just the best we could get, bro. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have let people will disagree. We shouldn't have let Wilkes go, but he did it. And I think Canales can still be somebody, but we got that motherfucker because that was the best we could get. It's not who the owner wanted.
If they don't get a quarterback, he will be fired next year.
So let him draft his quarterback. So let him draft his quarterback.
But the owner told him no, they're gonna have to ride out Bryce one more year.
I gotta fix your shit when I can just go get mine.
Juan, do you believe that we could have done better at head coach than Steve Wilkes?
I thought I would.
I like head coach out here than Steve Wilkes.
Let me tell you what I liked about Steve Wilkes. People will be like, "Oh man, you just won because he was black." No, because of the way the players rallied around him. That's infectious.
I agree, 100%.
So
I can understand that. I can understand that.
Well,
that's temporary though.
But what I'm telling you is, I'm saying fuck what we as fans, fuck what we thought. Those actual players was like, nah, man, he got to come back. This is who we want to play under, because they believed in him and he believed in them.
But Twan, let me ask you this: when they played against,
and that was just with like 6 games. That was under 6 games or some shit like that. 6 or 7 games.
Yeah. But the Tampa Bay game, the last game, the adjustment and the lack thereof, because the fan base was like, why? Why would you do that? Why do you do
Leo,
that?
listen.
So other individuals that are higher up, they saw that too. I understand what you're saying. They rallied around.
No.
But that's only temporary, in my opinion.
Oh no. This is and I love this debate, man. Because listen, but I'm gonna hit you with another chess. You see, right now we playing chess, so I'm gonna hit you with another move, man. So because listen, but Leo, what if Wilkes was the head coach from the very beginning of the season? What we had needed that Tampa Bay game to get us into the playoffs. I think if he was there from the very fucking beginning, it'd have been a different season. I can't prove it. That's why we're debating this shit. But that man, he had a limited amount of time. I agree. He was terrible. I agree. I felt like he should be a head coach and defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it worked out.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But this is my last question though.
No, you.
But give me a concrete reason why David Tepper should have came in and said, "I don't want to continue with him." After seeing all those players said, "I want to be coached under him." Why would Tepper go fuck what y'all think I'm bringing in Matt?
Because the owner of the Tepper is a businessman, and he feels like at head coach he could get better, and I 100% agree with him.
Yeah, exactly. Because Twan, he's gonna prove why. Here's to prove why he's not a defensive coordinator. Well, I think somebody picked him up though. Who picked Steve Wilkes up?
San Francisco. They picked him up for DC.
No, the Jets. I think right now. I'm talking about right now. I think he on somebody's team.
I don't know who he was right now, man.
I think he was the Jets. But look, let me just say this.
Somebody just picked him up though. Yeah, somebody just picked him up. Somebody did just pick him up.
Okay. But Twan, like I said, the adjustments at the end of the game for Tampa Bay, that, like I say, I understand the players want him, but
man, we ain't have no corners.
No. This is the real world, Twan. This is the real world now. This is the real world. If I have 5 more numbers, I'd have been a billionaire. This is the real world now, brother. When we talk about life and what happens, that last game against Tampa Bay, the fan base, because we were on the phone talking, me and you at some point on other platforms saying, why did you leave what's the name on the island? Why you leave Mike Evans one-on-one with number 24, whatever. Then, hold on real quick. So he go to San Francisco. The game against the Vikings, it might have went in overtime and then go to overtime. He called the blitz. The Vikings got down and scored. Let me finish.
No, I'm not going to cut you off. I just said, man.
The guy, no excuses. The game against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the coach, San Fran coach, called a timeout because Steve Wilkes was from the blitz. He called a timeout to avert that. He got released because him and the coach didn't agree on philosophy. So I'm not saying that he's wrong or who's right, but when stuff comes down to it, Twan, the individuals have the right to make a decision on the coach or whatever based on their own site. It ain't got nothing to do with liking somebody, the team. Because I'm going to say this to you also. The Panthers, the players on the Panthers team weren't good enough to tell the owner, this is who we want to coach. If we had a good winning team,
that's not true. That's not true. They weren't improving under him. They have every right to look, man, why you gonna be a player and you don't have no mouthpiece? They have every right to tell the motherfucker who we performing the best under. But as far as that San Francisco game in the Super Bowl, most people blame Shanahan. They try to use Steve Wilkes as the scapegoat. That was Shanahan's loss. And they wasn't gonna get rid of Shanahan. Shanahan threw him under the bus. But Shanahan threw Wilkes under the bus. That was on Shanahan.
That's what happened. How can you throw him in the bus?
That's part of business.
He did it. That was on Shanahan, bro.
But that's the nature of the business, though. That's how it goes.
But I'm telling you, that was Shanahan's fault. It won't. It should have put down to Wilkes.
This is what I want everybody to remember when it was about Steve Wilkes. David Tepper had it in mind that he was going to get the guy from Detroit, who's in Chicago now. That was his guy. That was his offer for head coach. It didn't work out in the end, so we ended up going a different direction. But that was his choice.
Oh, Ben Johnson. I was in full agreement. He wanted the door to be open. Johnson. Yeah, he wanted the door to be open if Ben Johnson decided to come to Carolina. And regardless of, the players, in my opinion, wanting Steve Wilkes, if Carolina had a really good quarterback, like say Cam, 2015 Cam, and Steve Wilkes was the coach. If Cam said, yo, I want him back, he would have been the coach. But Carolina didn't have a player that was the gravity of that player's opinion wasn't such to keep Steve Wilkes. Derek Brown.
We had Shaq Thompson. Yeah, we had Shaq.
Shaq Thompson ain't got no way.
Let me ask you a question as a bridge, man. So when teams win, right, and they win Super Bowls, when they go to these guys in interviews and they say, how did y'all win? What's one of the first words all these winning teams mention? They say family. We trusted each other. We played for each other. And when you got players saying that type of shit about Wilkes, then that's the blueprint. You don't go away from that.
Did the Panthers have any chance of going to the Super Bowl with the players that they had when Steve Wilkes was the coach, Juan?
If you would next year, we would have never known, bro. We would have never known. But instead,
Are
after
you
the whip
are
shit,
you saying are you being objective?
I'm being
You
genuine.
say that?
I'm being genuine. I'm
Okay, I
being
got you. I
objective
got you.
when
I
I
got
say
you.
that. Yeah, I'm being objective.
Okay.
Listen, so I'm just saying, look, after the whip shit, all Tep has been making is bad decisions since. You know? I mean, it's like, man, we're
I
not gonna put
disagree.
this shit on Wilkes. We ain't gonna put it on.
I
Nobody's
think
Wait,
that
putting it
if
on
hold
him.
I
on.
think that
Nobody's
if
putting it on
he
him.
So hold
if
on,
he was
DP6.
able
So
to
you
land Ben
saying, so
Johnson, I
you
don't
saying
think things would be the same.
so you
Yeah.
saying so you saying 2-14 later and 2-15 later he wasn't making bad decisions?
Oh no, I'm not saying that it wasn't a bad decision. I think that the initial plan is what fell through. I think that he
Well,
had all
it
his
didn't.
chips on Ben
That's
Johnson.
that's
He
what
had
I'm
all his
saying.
chips on Ben Johnson. He offered him big money, and the guy
That's
chose to
true.
go back to Detroit. And now after Detroit loses, he decides that he wants to leave and go to Chicago.
You see,
And this is
think
what
that
y'all said
instead
earlier,
he
of
right?
went to
Carolina, I can see
Chicago.
what he did.
He went to
So
Chicago because Chicago has a quarterback and they have wide receivers and they have in place already. Carolina didn't have it in place. There was a rookie quarterback that nobody knew. And what if he was a fan of Bryce Young? That's what I'm saying. If Ben Johnson believed in Bryce Young like the other motherfuckers did, like David Tepper did, he wouldn't have came to Carolina easily. Because let me ask y'all this:
Especially when
if
he
Drake
offered you
May,
$20 million a
if
year.
Carolina if Drake May or Caleb would have been there and Carolina had a chance to draft them, do any one of y'all think Ben Johnson would have told Carolina no?
I
Absolutely
don't
not.
know.
Especially when
Absolutely
David
not.
Tepper offered
Absolutely
him
not.
big
But
money.
wait, this is my opinion. I don't think he would. I
Well,
don't think he would have went away. I think
the
he
thing,
came and worked on that.
the last thing I'm gonna say about Tep is this. See, we make it seem like just because somebody's a billionaire and they own teams that they don't fuck up because we like, oh, it's
No,
their
Twan,
team or
nobody's
whatever.
saying
Let me
that.
finish.
No.
Let me finish. I'm driving a point home with this. So my thing is, it would have just been easier. I ain't saying that David Tepper would have had to come out and verbally say it, but even in life, man, when you humble yourself and go, man, I fucked up going out there getting right. I fucked up letting Wilkes go. You know, I'm
No,
fucking up. No, listen,
Twan, he
because this
can't
is what
say
we
The
that.
said
owner, he
about him.
doesn't owe anybody that.
That's what I'm saying.
See
Twan, he
what I'm
don't owe
saying?
nobody
He doesn't owe
nothing,
You
anybody.
Twan.
see what I'm saying? See,
Twan,
y'all
he
keep
will.
giving,
But Twan, it's not about him making mistakes. He's the owner.
y'all
He don't
keep
owe
giving.
nobody nothing.
No, you keep giving him this billionaire pass, bro.
Twan,
He fucked up.
It's
a
not a billionaire
businessman, Twan. He's
pass.
a
That's what
businessman.
you get when you're a
And,
billionaire. You get
That's what
that
I'm saying.
pass
He's a
when you own the
businessman.
and
team.
guess what?
If you own a business and the motherfucker at your store keeps stealing from you or fucking up, whether you let him go,
Look, man.
it's not about if
Look, check this out.
he's not. It's not good for
So,
your business.
When
I'm
is
glad
the
I'm glad
next
you said that.
ownership going to come out in 30, 40
No,
years and
no.
say they've been messing up?
Oh no,
When they
Dolan
going to do
said
that?
it. But look, I'm gonna use y'all's logic. If you own a grocery store and you order 100 bags of potato chips and you only sell 2 of them motherfuckers, then you're doing bad business.
Nah, you put the rest of the chips on sale.
Yeah.
Man, get the fuck out of here. He did. He sold tickets for $4 and niggas still didn't show up.
Because he made a mistake. He made a mistake. Now to say
Stop giving these
Steve
niggas these
Wilkes, and no,
passes, bro.
not hiring Steve Wilkes.
It's not a pass. He's the owner.
He's the owner, Twan. He could do what he want to do.
I don't give a fuck. He can also fuck up.
He did. We acknowledge that he made a mistake.
Hey, listen,
about it too.
I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna end the story and I'm gonna drop the mic on both of y'all motherfuckers. And I say this funnily though, but guess what? Dave Tepper, since he's joined the ranks of professional sports, has been the worst owner in sports with the worst fucking winning percentage. I'm done. He is the worst owner.
But that's
it ain't no but after that.
fact.
It ain't no but after that.
That's a
it ain't no but after that.
But that's a provable fact. But that doesn't negate the fact that it's still his business, his organization, and he could do what he want to do. He made that. But that's life, though. When David Tepper got into investment, for the most part, I'm pretty sure he lost more than he got. But he kept
guess what?
trying at it.
But look, now, Q, I got Leo somewhere where he can't. I got Leo somewhere where he can't run now. And you ready for this, Leo? And Leo, you can't do nothing but humble yourself and say you right, Twan. Because David Tepper is so trash and the shit that he's doing with that Carolina organization that Q just said a lot of these big hard fans are leaving the team. Leo is on the show right now saying, I do not fuck with the Panthers until they change shit and get rid of Bryce Young.
But the thing about let me just say this. I wouldn't have a problem with Bryce Young losing because he He's better than he was. My whole issue with the team is not the team, just the atmosphere around it. It's not reality. When I turn on ESPN, I could click on so many different platforms and people giving this man accolades for undeserved attempts. It's not deserved. So I don't like that because it's phony and it's fake and it's feminine. I don't live in fantasy world. I live in the real world. So that's why I don't want to associate myself with that because it's not real. That's the Carolina Panthers are not a real team. It's Mickey Mouse shit. It's not real. So I can't support that. It has nothing to do with the wins and losses because when the Panthers was 0-15 or 1-15, when Jimmy Clausen was the quarterback, I watched the last game in the fucking rainstorm because I wanted the team to win. But I'm not watching no motherfucking Bryce Young run around and motherfuckers, associate they homoerotic feelings for this dude. I can't roll with that.
The owner wanted Bryce Young. That's what y'all said.
But I took it away
from
Pepper.
Listen,
I put it all on the atmosphere.
Well, David Tepper created the atmosphere. When Bryce Young got out that car and brought his ass to Carolina, David squeezed the motherfucking sonic rings out that motherfucker. He hugged him so damn tight.
But Twan, you have to give him credit though. Bryce Young at the time,
listen.
Bryce Young was a good player.
Hey, Jalen, D'Angelo, look, they want me to give the losingest fucking owner in the world credit.
No, Twan, that's what I'm saying, Twan. I'm talking about at the time. Bryce Young was the second, and some say the best, some say the second. To me, I thought CJ was a better quarterback. But Bryce Young in college, Twan, was phenomenal. He was a phenomenal college football player. I didn't like him in NFL because of his measurables.
Because his
He played with nothing but 5-star players in college, Leo.
But Twan, that's like anything. That's like anything. That's like Michael Jordan playing with Scottie Pippen. That's like Luka playing with the Lakers.
Nah,
that's like Steph Curry playing with. That's like Steph. Which one? That's like Steph playing with the other dude. The other dude going to the Hall of Fame because he's a great 3-point shooter.
They told us
Clay goes to the Hall of Fame.
They told us that they told us Bryce was they said Bryce was the master manipulator. That he was the master thinker. That he was faster than.
Did you see him play? Did you see him play?
Yeah.
In college?
He played around number 5 stars.
Twan, when they played Twan, his last year in school, Twan, they played against Texas in Texas. I watched that game.
Okay, I'm asking you this. What does Bryce Young look like?
Did you see that game when they played against Texas?
What does Bryce Young look like playing with Tulane or some shit like that or whatever? Then what does he look like?
You only gonna be as good. That's anybody outside of Cam. But
a nigga like him is only gonna be as good as the players around him.
But Twan, that's school. That's how it is. Ask CJ when he was in school. CJ played with everybody. All CJ wide receivers got drafted. CJ, he's a better player.
Leo, this is what we're arguing about now with him. Why do we have to keep bringing all these weapons in?
I'm talking about when Bryce was in school, though. I'm saying, but
what is he bringing to the table? What is he bringing to the table?
When Bryce, he didn't win the Bryce won the Heisman because he was a good
player. Look, man.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this though.
No, listen. You can ask anybody in the chat. Look, listen, they moved him into high school. They sent him to Martin Day to play with the best kids around him. He went to Alabama to play with the best kids around him. He got to Carolina when he didn't have the best people around him, and it showed, and it's still showing. And now, guess what we want to do? We want to put the best players around him so he can show up.
But Twan, I'm talking about school, though. I'm talking about when he was in school, when he played at Alabama, he was phenomenal.
I'm talking about Bryce Young now.
He was a product of the players around him in school. Okay, good. That's most players outside of Cam Newton in college. Cam had nobody on Auburn team that started outside of probably an offensive lineman got drafted in the NFL. In 2010, nobody got drafted on the offensive side of the ball outside of Cam and the offensive line. No wide receivers got drafted. The running back, he fucked up. So Cam is a phenomenal he was a phenomenal college football player. But I'm talking about Bryce in college Bryce was a phenomenal college football player. I didn't think it would translate into the NFL because of his mental.
I don't know about the phenomenal part. When you put phenomenal is too big of a word. It's still what phenomenal. What does Heisman Trophy mean? The motherfuckers go to the NFL. How many people with a Heisman that ain't shit?
I said college.
How many? How many players from that won the Heisman Trophy came to the NFL and then turned out to be shit?
Twan, you changing it, Twan. You hear what I'm saying specifically, but you giving a specious argument, Twan. I'm sticking to him being in school. You translating somebody in the NFL. It don't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I could name a lot of.
He was phenomenal.
I could name a lot of college quarterbacks that were phenomenal in college, who didn't win the Heisman Trophy, who didn't turn out to be shit in the NFL. I can name also a lot of college quarterbacks that played with great teams, or with like mid teams, but the quarterback was the best thing on that team, and it translated over into the NFL. Bryce Young has always needed crutches around him.
But Twan,
that's why he can't do it by himself.
The dude, Twan, let me just ask you this, Twan.
He's not phenomenal at anything.
Twan, Bryce Young, when he throw that ball in the bucket, throwing the ball 30 yards down the field, he has done it a couple of times, and he has phenomenal touch throwing the ball down the field. He throws with excellent anticipation because his arm strength is not there. So he throws with tremendous anticipation. So he has the potential. I don't think his stature will hold up. His arm strength don't hold up to me personally. But you can't take away from his touch down the field. It's not the strongest arm, but he throws the ball in the bucket, man. I'm telling you, like, I'm not a fan of the dude far as the bullshit, but he is talented.
I don't know who this Leo is.
Small.
I don't know who this Leo is because I'm
what
done.
you mean, Twan?
I'm done.
I can't change my mind. I see this Bryce Young throwing the ball 30 yards down the field on the edge of the sideline in the bucket. That's phenomenal shit, man. Everybody can't do that. You have to give that man credit for that, man.
All right, I'm not, but I'm done. I mean, we agree to disagree.
Let me ask you this, Twan. When we played against the Falcons, when the Panthers played against the Falcons, and he threw that ball in the end zone, and he turned around before the motherfucker caught that shit, you trying to tell me everybody could do that shit?
The motherfucker was wide open.
Bullshit, Twan. It wasn't no wide open. He threw that ball with anticipation. That man was not there before Bryce Young threw the ball, Twan. That takes talent and skill. Twan, you being disingenuous. When he threw that ball and turned around before the dude caught the shit, Twan, that's phenomenal shit right there. Everybody can't do that. Twan, let me ask you this, Twan. In the history of NFL, have you ever seen somebody do that before?
No.
Okay then.
Nope.
So it takes a motherfucker to do shit like that, Twan.
I seen Patrick Mahomes throw the ball behind his back. I think that's harder.
I asked you specifically what Bryce did in that game. I didn't say no. That's the species argument. I'm talking about what Bryce did in that game. Was that
he did not turn his head? He did not. You make it seem like he threw the ball and turned his head immediately. He did not turn his head until he saw that ball about to go in old boy's arms.
You pull it up, show that video. The ball was still in the air when Bryce threw it, and Trimble wasn't even in frame yet. He had already threw the ball.
He did not turn his back until that ball was almost in his hands.
I know almost shit, because Twan, if I throw it before you get there, that means I know you're gonna be there. That means I got anticipation. Everybody don't have that, Twan. Cam did not have the ability to throw with anticipation. He relied on his arm strength. Cam relied on his arm strength. He was a phenomenal athlete. He was very strong. But Bryce Young is not strong. Bryce Young is short. But he uses his God-given talent, his intelligence, his ability to read and do stuff like that. I mean, like I say, I'm not a fan. I don't see the Panthers winning a lot of games with Bryce Young, but I'm not taking away from his ability because it's there. It's obviously there. If he was a little taller, he would be a Hall of Fame type of quarterback. Twan, was that man with that ball? Twan, don't disrespect that man. That was amazing.
Hey, Leo, stop talking and look at it again. Look, ball thrown. When he sees it, then he turns his head as that ball is about to be caught. He did not turn around immediately. He's waiting. He's waiting. Then he turns.
I'm just saying, but he threw the ball before the guy was even
He
there.
did not turn his back until that ball was almost in that man's hands. I could turn down because I know he's gonna catch it.
Not necessarily turning around. He's talking about the throw more so.
I'm talking about the anticipation of the play happening.
He's wide open. He's wide the fuck open.
Okay, so Twan, it was easy to do that then. That was easy?
Yes. Okay. He's wide open. Any comparable quarterback can do that. I don't give a fuck he turned his head.
I got
Good throw. Good throw. He got a touchdown. The man had 5 touchdowns in that game. That was phenomenal.
I mean, I'm not getting credit for the running shit. I mean, the running shit don't mean nothing, but I don't see the Panthers winning a lot of games with him because I don't think he's physically capable. But Leo, he has the ability.
I'm gonna give my 2 cents on that. Twan is right. Any capable NFL quarterback should be able to make that throw. That was a basic wide open pass to the back of the end zone. That means if you miss, the worst that could happen is it going to the back of the end zone. So,
but he didn't miss though.
That's what I'm saying. He made the pass, but it was wide open. I could make that pass. You could make that pass. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, but I disagree. But I got
would you
that
say
shit was not impressive, bro?
Anticipation.
Say what?
Not just that pass. Would you say that Bryce throws the ball with anticipation, even if it's because he has to?
He's a timing quarterback. He puts it to the spot where he feels like they should be at. Once again, that timing type of quarterback is played out in the NFL because if you push a wide receiver or get him off of his spot, they're not going to always be there at that particular spot where you need to throw them open to. And Bryce is the type of quarterback who can't throw anybody open.
No, that's the opposite. That's the opposite. He throws them open. He throws the ball before.
Oh, wait a minute now, Leos. We're looking at 2 different motherfuckers. Who you looking at?
No, he doesn't do it. No. I'm saying no. He doesn't do it consistently because he doesn't have the arm strength. But
that man cut left. He cut left, and then that's when he
do it consistently, in my opinion. But when he does do it, he has to throw. I'm saying, Chad Pennington, he had throws with a lot of anticipation. The quarterbacks that don't have strong arms, they have to rely on anticipation. So Bryce Young has to rely on anticipation because he doesn't have the arm strength to squeeze it in there. He will never squeeze it in there. So Bryce can't throw it late. He has to throw it early.
Leo,
that wasn't
what you're mistaken as a trait that he's throwing anticipation. That's something every basic quarterback should be able to do.
You have to be able to do that in the NFL.
You say should though. You say the opposite word is should, but a lot of quarterbacks not able to do that.
And that's why they sitting on the bench, Leo. That's why they sitting on the bench.
So let me ask y'all this. Let me just ask y'all this. Was Cam Newton an anticipation thrower?
No, but he could rifle that motherfucker in there. He had a tremendous arm strength.
He had the arm strength. So when a quarterback does not have when he has the arm strength, he could rely on that most of the time. But a lot of times you have to throw the wide receiver open because the
he didn't throw him. Listen,
or the cornerback.
He didn't throw him open. He didn't throw him open. So stop saying that. Trevor went in there and cut left, and then the Atlanta defender kept going right. And Bryce saw him wide open and threw the pass, man.
But I just use that as an example. But it's been plenty of games where Bryce throws he throws Adam Thielen slow ass. He has to throw it to him before. He has to throw it before Thielen comes out of the break.
If you asking me to agree with you that he does throw balls with anticipation, I agree. Absolutely, he does. But not always, and he throws a lot of interceptions too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, in my opinion, I don't see the Panthers winning a lot of games because he can't do it consistently. But he does. He has the ability. When he was at Alabama, he threw with a lot of anticipation. He put the ball on the spot. It wasn't like a rocket, but he has a lot of touch. Like he has the potential, but I don't think it would be enough to win no more than 5 or 6 games unless he got the Ravens defense in 2000.
You see that? Malia, you can't say he has a phenomenal set if he can't do it over and over again. That means he can do it sometimes.
No, I'm saying, but I hear. No, you're right, but I'm saying, but it's not because he doesn't have the ability to do it. It's just that
But
it
Leo,
can't be
all
consistent.
quarterbacks in the NFL has the ability to throw in anticipation. Is consistently. That's the problem with a
They're
starter
called
and somebody sitting on the bench.
and
You're
Q,
not
they call
consistently
timing
able to
outs.
put.
That's why I
You
said the
can't put it
Panthers ain't gonna win a
together.
lot of games because he can't. I don't think he'll be able to do it consistently enough. He could probably
But
make about
what
like
I'm
5 or
telling
6 good
you,
passes a game.
what I'm telling you is
That ain't phenomenal.
every quarterback in the NFL has that gift. You get what I'm saying? That's how you made it to the fucking NFL at some point in
Yeah.
time. It's like MDJ say right here on the screen. It's a basic requirement of the NFL on that level to be able to come in and throw with anticipation and be able to, okay, if this person going in the back and you see a post route, be able to hit him at the end of the post route and anticipate what position he gonna be at to throw it. That's
It's called a time.
simplicity.
No,
It's
but
called a timing route.
I agree with that. But to me, that's what I'm saying. To me personally, I think
Mm.
Bryce Young has a God-given talent that a lot of quarterbacks don't have because of his arm strength not being up to par. So him throwing the ball so early and it getting there, it
No,
can't be.
no, no, no,
It
no.
can't.
So
At one
Leo,
point, I thought I'd say it's luck, but it's not luck because that's a poor.
okay.
That's not a real argument to say it's luck. That's not reality.
Okay,
I just think he has a God-given
Leo,
talent that's a
Leo.
little better than
He
everybody else
has a
with that.
God-given talent. I have a God-given talent. Now, the difference in the talent is the talent levels. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a talent. Like, if you take your time and you look at, just give me a shitty quarterback in the NFL. Somebody give me a shitty quarterback.
Bryce Young.
Other than Bryce Young. I want to use this for an example. Give me a shitty quarterback.
Gardner Minshew. Well, he ain't
Garner.
shitty, but
Okay, Gardner
yeah, Gardner
Minshew.
Minshew. Yeah.
Gardner Minshew is a quarterback that you see week in and week out. Comes out here, he has the arm strength to do whatever it is that a coach asks him to do. He can make the throws, but for some reason, consistently, he can never put it all together enough to be a starter for an entire season. The problem is with him is he has the anticipation. He got the same anticipation Bryce Young got.
I disagree, brother. I disagree with you, and I hear you though, but I disagree with that though.
Oh, boy, Gardner Minshew put how much up on us the last time we saw that motherfucker, Leo? How much he put up on us?
No. What I'm saying is, I don't think I don't think
Leo.
the way he throws the ball with anticipation is on par with Bryce Young. That's what I'm saying. He's
What
a
I'm
better
saying
quarterback
is
than Bryce
Gardner
Young. He is
Minshew.
better than Bryce.
Gardner Minshew has shown more in his period of time than Bryce Young. Think about it. He's
No, I
giving
hear
you
you.
300-yard
He
games.
has. Even coming out of school, he did better than Bryce Young. But my point is, you know what I'm saying? Bryce Young's arm strength, and like I say, he's not a good quarterback. He's a bench quarterback. I don't think he'll be playing quarterback much longer in NFL, period. I don't think he'll have a 5 or 6 more year career. I don't think
But
he's
what I'm
suited to be a
saying,
quarterback.
I'm telling you, Bryce Young is the same way. You just got to watch him transition from a starter to being a bench rider. What everybody doing now is saying because of Alabama, we saw this. He should be able to do this. Is this?
No,
That,
I
and
didn't
this.
expect him to do that. No, I don't expect him to do that because he's too small and his arm strength is not there. But he throws with so much touch and anticipation. I'm just saying that that's a unique talent that everybody doesn't
So,
have. That's
Leo,
all I'm
what
saying.
happens when that anticipation that you wait for, when he takes too long to throw with that anticipation? What happens?
But that's what I'm saying. True, he's not going to win a lot of games because he doesn't have it.
His timing clock is
somebody gonna
off.
get it early. It's going to be intercepted.
But y'all call him the biggest processor. Y'all call him this guy that can come out here and be a computer. But when you look at it, just like how we say, when you push the DB off the spot, when you push the wide receiver off the spot and they don't get to that exact spot, it's freak
It's gonna
flesh
be
because
it's gonna be
he
intercepted. Yeah.
don't have the ability to come out here and be a consistent enough quarterback to say, okay, let me go to another read. He sticks with that
He
same
can't.
motherfucker and
He
take a
can't.
sack.
He can't
You
go
get
to
what I'm
another
saying?
read because he don't have the arm strength to come back. I agree 100%.
That's the problem with this nigga, and that's gonna forever be his problem. He said it on the fucking podcast. He has to set his feet and try to turn left. He can't do it. He said it.
He can't. His arms are not there. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. All I'm just saying is that from what I see and what I saw in school, he has a unique talent, but it's not enough in the professional level to be successful, in my opinion.
You can't be unique and mediocre in the same breath.
Q, you can, you can,
no, sir.
Q, you can.
No, I don't believe that.
You can have ability that everybody doesn't have, but it's just not good enough.
How the fuck do you be special, but then goddamn it, you partly special? What type of shit is that?
Because Q, that's what I'm saying. When it happens every day. You could be good enough to be on a basketball court. A motherfucker be 5'8", but he killing on a basketball court. But when you get to the pros, it's different.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's levels to this shit. This nigga
You right, but
anticipation
I'm
level
not saying. But
is
that's
not
that's not
of a
me saying that he's
starting
not
caliber
good though.
quarterback.
You
He's
right, but
not good.
he's
He's
not
basic.
He physically he's not capable of doing it. I just this is my point. I hear what you're saying. I hear what y'all saying, and I don't think he'd
Leo,
be successful. But I don't think it's for lack of talent. I just think it's his physical limitations was holding him back.
if
To
Bryce
me,
Young had the talent that everybody say he had, those games he would put on his back and he would carry this team. You get what I'm saying? You would see him make throws that you say, wow, this guy is special. Instead, you see him hold the ball, take sacks, and then next thing you know, you see this guy going, it's incompletion. It's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You get what I'm saying? 3 and out, 3 and out. And motherfuckers talking about a nigga with talent is supposed to make a way out of no way. You get what I'm saying? A nigga with talent, you're talented for a reason because you're exceptional in ways that others is not. You get what I'm saying? You're able to make lemons and make lemonade, strawberry lemonade, different flavors of the lemonade. You able to be that motherfucker. He is not
let
that
me ask
guy.
you this though. So is there a difference between when you could be talented? I mean, I'm asking the question: can a person be talented, but they be physically limited to the point where their talents can't be accentuated to the point where they can be, consistently successful? I'm just asking the question.
See, the thing is, he's immensely talented. The problem is on the next level, he's basic. You get what I'm saying? At the college level,
that's my point. Yeah. Because right now in the NFL,
at the
it's not good enough.
level,
It's not good
at the
enough.
level of college, he was exceptional, cream of the crop. But when they get bigger, faster, stronger, they have the ability to zone in on him a lot more. He shrunk. You saw him shrunk the last 2 years. 6 out of 22, 6 games out of 22. Some of them games came down to a wire with him being able to make one more play. If he would have made one more play, it would have been better.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You winning games by field goals. The fucking kicker was the MVP. Eddie Pinero was the MVP last year, the year before last. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You should
he's not good
be,
enough. He's not good enough. Yeah.
if
I agree.
you're talented as you telling me this nigga is, you should not have a kicker save you and bail you out after so many 3 and outs. And then they'll blame it on, like I said, he don't have nobody around him. So what are these guys that I keep seeing you drafted? What are those guys? What is the second round pick of Mingo? What is Terrence Marshall Jr. diving at fucking practice? You look around. I mean, what the fuck is these niggas, man?
The excuses for Bryce Young. It's this excuse.
Well, look, check this out. They didn't put no talent around him, but that's what I was saying earlier. Look, man,
That's a
some people
lie,
say
Quan.
no. Listen, what I'm saying. Some people say the better quarterbacks are the ones that can do more with less. Bryce can never do more with less.
Look at
Bryce
Buffalo.
can never do more with less.
He can't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He's not there. He can't do it. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't no great fucking college quarterback either, because he had all 5 stars around him.
Yeah,
that was it, and he still lost.
That's the thing. Understanding the difference with him on the NFL is if you were going to take him, you had to put other 5 stars around him immediately. But what we did is we went and got an Adam Thielen, which was like I said, he was a serviceable guy.
Mm-hmm.
We went and get a Hayden Hurst who had 500 yards with Joe Burrow. So you can't say he was a slouch. He was not a slouch when he came here because before here he had 500 yards.
500 yards ain't gonna get it.
Nigga, 500 yards from the tight end position is very.
Do you know who he's throwing to over there?
Well, shit, mediocre.
Hayden Hurst was like the 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th option.
Yeah, he wasn't even second option.
You see what I'm saying? Had he been the 1st or 2nd option, that man had been over 1,000 plus. You get what I'm saying? He had talent.
But that's leading to our point, Q. he has to have a number one, a top 5 tight end around him. He has to have a top 5 wide receiver around him. He got to have a top 10 running back behind him, a top 10 line in front of him. What is he bringing?
Twan, DJ Chark had 1,000 yards before he came to the Carolina Panthers. When he got here, he barely scratched the surface. DJ Chark, the nigga from the Lions.
Yeah. That was that 1 year though.
Pro Bowl receiver. He come here, he can't put two things together to read right.
Yeah. And they blamed it on him. They say he trashed. I'm like, how the fuck this motherfucker trashed made the Pro Bowl?
Bryce wasting his time. But listen to this though. But listen to this. But this goes back to Carolina's mistakes. Why go get a DJ Chark who specializes in the deep ball, and y'all know this motherfucker don't throw the deep ball?
Exactly. Bing,
but
bing, bing, bing.
You're right, but the thing, but that's to prove that it was all about Bryce Young.
That was a waste of DJ Chark's time, bro. And then you had this man struggling to get on another team because they tried to say it was him. It was Bryce.
They know he went to he didn't struggle. What's his name picked him up immediately. Well, he waited a little, but he went to the Chargers. but just like the number 5 dude, that whole ass they got rid of him because Bryce couldn't get him the ball. When they brought in the Red Rifle, he had like 100 yards every game outside of like last couple of games. So he was like, y'all putting Bryce back in? I can't do shit with this dude, man. So
you had a clear cut. You put a guy in at Seattle and he come and give you 300 yards immediately, and then you go back to this fella, and then it's like 100 yards, 125 yards. You can't sit there and say the talent is not on the team. Everybody else is steady saying, well, he don't have nothing around him. But those nothings are getting numbers with Andy Dalton.
That's the truth. It's a provable fact. But in this day and age, a motherfucker could say I'm a woman and be a man and go in the girl's bathroom. So this is inverted reality. It's inverted reality. And a motherfucker look at you, Q, like something wrong with you. Like you want a grown ass man in the bathroom with women, but just the reality we live in. Motherfuckers say up and down, down is up. When Andy had 300 yards with these motherfuckers, and your boy barely having 150 yards, it's everybody else's fault. But that's not reality. That's what I'm saying. I can't root for motherfucking shit that's not based in reality. That's crazy. You can't tell me that Bryce ain't trash in the NFL because he is. He's showing it.
So Leo, why don't you just spend the last 30 minutes pumping this motherfucker up there?
But you heard the last thing I said though, right, Twan? In the NFL.
Like Q said, I wasn't on here with, but I heard Q say I was over here about to motherfucking choke up this water. I was drinking that. Q said you say this nigga is kind of special sometimes.
No, I was saying he has talent. He is supremely gifted. He has a lot of talent, but it's not enough for the Panthers to win consistently. So that's what I'm saying.
What Q was trying to tell you, Q was trying to tell you he placed out in college. That should have been the end of the road for him.
But I saw him play against Texas in Texas 2 years ago, and Texas was beating him, and he made a play at the end. He scrambled. He made a play to score a touchdown.
With his feet, with his feet, and that was one game in college.
But Twan,
he placed out, he maxed out in college. That motherfucker might be playing football on Saturdays in this damn American Football League one day.
We play 17 games here in the NFL. 17 games. And we can only get 1 to 2 good games from this nigga every fucking year. That's a problem.
That's an absolute problem. You can't. But you know what? My bad part. This was my original point though. David Tepper believed that he was the best or second best quarterback. Even if David Tepper thought he was second best, he drafted him because of his face, his personality. They could sell that because clearly we see the results. That's why, Twan, you can't say he's too fucking stupid. Now I'm gonna tell you why you can't say he's too stupid.
I didn't say he was stupid.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, because it ain't work out on the wins and losses. But David Tepper has won with the revenue and the publicity that the Panthers have gotten based on having Bryce Young. In my opinion, I believe that's why he drafted him also. Because he thought he was better.
What publicity? They immediately took us off Monday and Thursday night games, man.
No,
What publicity?
but Twan, no. The next
Well, what
year,
he did is the
but the first
image.
year, Carolina was on Monday night and Thursday night
Man,
and
but
Sunday
guess
night.
what? And
No,
nobody still
Twan.
gave a fuck
But
about the
I'm talking about
Panthers.
the first year, Twan. I'm talking about the first year.
The
I
first
got you,
year
but
he had
nobody.
Bryce. He had Bryce at Bojangles commercial, body armor. He had him getting different stuff. And then it's like we had Monday night game, Thursday night game. I went to the Monday night game. And this is the crazy thing. Bryce was being big upped as this big superstar. And then all of a sudden it just started come crashing down.
But the Panthers they stay talking about Panthers. They don't get no more TV time because of the record. But Bryce Young still talked about in various sports annals. He still talked about.
Yeah. And they
So
always
that's
say what?
publicity.
It's the organization over here. He has nothing to work with. That's the narrative
It's
that they always
always
run
that.
with over here.
That's what all the ESPN niggas keep saying. Look, man, I'm still apologizing to Red Swarm to this day because of Bryce. I told Red Swarm we looking right past y'all, man. Because I thought Bryce was gonna be this motherfucker that they said he was gonna be. Queuing up to Twan, don't put your chips in with this motherfucker.
Hey. So Twan, why you thought that?
I mean, look, they talked the motherfucker up like he was gonna be. We just said all the damn all the adjectives they gave that
Twan ain't
nigga.
gonna be honest. Twan ain't gonna be honest. He was a super fan of the team, and in his eyes,
Yeah.
Oh,
if you
okay.
had
So
that
just
blue
okay.
That's
eye,
true.
I got you.
That's
I
true.
mean, Bryce
That's
Young
true.
was gonna morph into some great nigga that he wasn't.
That's absolutely. He got me. That's absolutely true.
Okay, I thought
And
he
then
was
after
going
them,
off his college football play, but
no,
you being a
after the
fan, I
first
got
2
you.
years, after
He was
them,
gonna be better.
I
I got ahead of myself. But after the
No,
two
I
first
got you.
games, I said he ain't got it, bro. This motherfucker don't got it.
But Twan, you ain't had to. It was so humbling watching him to throw them 2 interceptions that Jesse threw
Bruh.
across the middle of the field. That was
It's
humbling
like
for all you niggas.
it's hey Q, I dropped my damn ice cream cone, my damn lollipop, all that shit. And just said like, man, what the fuck just happened, bro?
And guess what niggas say? Well, it was a competitive game and a loss. It was a competitive
Took my
nigga.
The
You
Leo.
lost the fucking game.
That's crazy.
Leo immediately took my tickets. Immediately took my tickets for the rest of the year and sold them bitches, bro.
No, you didn't.
Right away.
Oh, after the
Damn
first
Right
game?
away.
After
It's like the first two. First two games.
Because
I
you
said,
already knew like this is
man,
not gonna be
Remember,
good.
Leo,
this ain't
we
gonna
went
be it.
0-6, and we didn't win until we went up against Houston and went 1-6.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
I remember that day too.
We beat
looking
the one team that we had no business beating.
no business beating. I'm like, this CJ throwing fucking 300 yards a game. You fucking line losing. But see, with the Panthers, with Bryce Young, they slow the game down. So if they had the ball more, I think the Houston would have put more points on the board. But with Bryce Young, run the ball, play action, run the clock out. I kid y'all not, man. When the first year, the Panthers game was over like 3:30, like 3:40. Like usually the games be over like 10 minutes to 4, quarter to 4.
First half, that bitch over.
Man, Carolina. No, I'm talking about
Them bitches be over at the
but
half.
literally though, like the football game was over like 3:30, 3:35 because Carolina was running the clock out with Bryce because they couldn't do nothing with the ball. That shit was. I'm like the game. You got a half an hour left. Go to the other game. Damn, I'm like this shit crazy, man. But yeah, they ran the clock out on Houston and they fucking around and got a win. Like you said, the kicker would save the day, but wasn't Bryce Young.
That first home game, the house was packed like a motherfucker, bro. Nowhere to sit. After them 2 losses, half the crowd. You can sit wherever the fuck you wanted to.
Yep, no, sir.
Towards the end of the season, you can sit down there with the team if you wanted to. They built the seats down there in the end zone.
Damn it,
so bad.
Sit wherever you feel like. It's general admissions.
They got this new thing they call the vault experience. The vault experience was an experience where they have out here. You can get like access to the ground, and you can be on the drinks, food, all that shit. Come through the back entrance. They now got that shit for $300. $300 for the fucking vault experience.
David Tepper, he gonna be sadly mistaken. Like he got all these lofty ideas, and you got Bryce Young as the. Come on, man, that's a bad.
You just gotta be good to do the shit he wants to do.
Yeah.
All that going up on the ticket prices, even when we was 2 and whatever. Remember when we had the highest ticket price well, we had top 5 highest ticket price in the NFL. I'm like, dude, we not winning. What the fuck are you raising prices for? And the place is never packed. It ain't never sold out.
The Bryce Young effect, man.
I remember that rainy game when the motherfucker said, fuck it, just come over here, pay 40 cents, sit where you want. And niggas was like, nah, it's too much.
Involved with that shit, man.
I don't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, man, he rolled the dice, man. I mean, but this Bryce Young make or break a year, man, because the coach would get fired if they win like 5 or 6 games. I think they get fired, man.
It won't be the coach's fault, though.
You right, but
you set this man up.
That's something. No, I'm sorry. After this year, the coach, they're gonna be like, look, we got to draft somebody else. If they roll with Bryce in 25, 26, then the coach asking to get fired. But I believe they'll draft somebody. I believe they're gonna draft the quarterback.
Well, if they
in the
roll with him,
draft.
they're about to pay him, right?
Yeah, if they pay him, then man, Dave Canales will go on and get that moving truck company's phone number because he out here.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think they're gonna in this draft.
They're gonna draft the quarterback or get a. They're gonna get an undrafted.
I think in some round they're gonna shock the shit. Then they're gonna draft some damn body to compete with this motherfucker.
They have to, but they just got Andy Dalton. What's the other dude that they drafted last? Or they picked him up?
That damn Plumlee,
they
just got
somebody else.
They would have waited a year. That this new kid coming out of Louisville, Show or whatever, he's supposed to be moving up the board. But
now they not gonna draft nobody higher, and they hired because they don't want.
But let me ask you this question. Let me ask this question, Leo. When the fuck did we become the organization that don't want to put the best players on the field? Like, you don't even want these motherfuckers to compete with somebody, bro. What? You got every position. You got every position competing. You got every position competing except the main one on the field.
Twan, the Panthers, the Bryce Young fandom is not that people might not gonna like this. And this just came to me. The Bryce Young fandom is bigger than the Carolina Panthers. It's the Bryce Young Panthers. It's not the Carolina Panthers no more. It's the Bryce Young Panthers.
They must be the only motherfuckers going to them games there.
They got a lot of women and children going to them games, brother.
Because when we look in the crowds on Sundays, it's looking real motherfucking Swiss cheese out there.
Yeah.
In that crowd.
It's the Bryce Young Panthers, brother. It's not about winners or losses. It's the Bryce Young. He's the face of the team, win or lose, brother. I'm sorry to say that. It's really unfortunate. The Panthers fan base, the ones that love the Panthers and want to see them win, they're gonna have to sit it out for about another year and a half because it's gonna be looking bad. He might win like 6 games. He might fuck around and throw 3 or 4 touchdowns in a couple of games, but
you only got this year to prove it.
They're gonna mix in the Tampa Bay game. They're gonna mix in the Dallas game. They're gonna mix in the Chargers game. They're gonna mix in some games. So it's sad, man. It's
If somebody ain't sending that nigga the message, you got this year and this year only. Or you fucking out of here, bro.
If he
or at the very least, I know y'all not gonna pay this man, bro.
His family, his agent next year, they're gonna be talking about contract extension.
What's his agent gonna be able to say? What bullet points is he gonna sit down with and tell the team, y'all missing out. Y'all missing out. If you get rid of Bryce, then I got 10 teams. What did it do? Okay. What's it gonna be his selling points for his contract?
He ain't gonna have no bargaining chips, but they're gonna try it anyway.
They have no chip.
They're gonna try it, man.
And whatever chips he put on the table, I swipe them motherfuckers off, bro. Nobody no chips.
Man, the Panthers fans, they better hope Bryce Young don't. Because look, Twan, check this out. The team might not be winning, but if Bryce got 3,500 yards, 23, 24 in the touchdowns, 10 interceptions, they're gonna be crying for him to be on the team, brother. It don't even matter if they lose.
Well, look, that makes sense to keep them dead because then it's
even if
the
they
motherfuckers
losing,
around them. But I'm saying if he throw for 3,500, then it seems more apparent that it's the people around him.
25 touchdown, 35. Twan Joker throw 3,500 yards on their back, 17 games.
Bro, if he throw for 3,500 yards, I'm still not giving him what he wants. Because if we ain't winning, that don't mean shit.
Not. I got you. You're not. But the fan base gonna like, oh, he did this and that. I don't know. I hope the owner don't be stupid enough doing shit like that. But he has done some wild shit before drafting that motherfucker. But it is what it is, man.
Well, who throw for over 3,500 and they ain't winning?
Shit, Joe did last year. A whole bunch of motherfuckers throw like 4,000 yards.
No, I mean Joe Burrow them was winning though. They just didn't go to the playoffs. If they'd have been in any other division, they would have been in the playoffs.
About like more than 4 or 5 wins. Oh, I got it. I mean, shit, Houston, when man was a quarterback a couple years ago, they only won like 3 or 4 games, and he had over 4,000 yards passing during COVID. But I mean, what you gonna see, man? I mean, they got some good quarterbacks coming out of 26, so
they do.
King JP, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
JP, what up, bro?
JP,
what's up?
What it do, JP?
Motherfucker, JP.
He said, "What it do?"
Yeah. How y'all fellas doing?
The motherfucking shepherd in here.
Damn right. I figure I'll get on. I ain't been on because I got a little time to talk.
Yeah, but you been MIA, bro. You been in these chats, but
Yeah, well, I've been kind of, you know what I'm saying, when I'm like behind the wheel and shit, I don't really get to talk like that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Can't be out here in these streets crashing shit, so.
So you said go. You saying go, and when Q was driving and D'Angelo, they be out here fucking around.
They be fucking around.
We got a hands-free stand, to make sure they don't do any shit like that,
Yeah. He said y'all be taking real chances.
They do. They be taking risks. I be saying them on camera. That motherfucker don't be doing no real work.
I wonder people drove by y'all be like, who is that nigga yelling at? Somebody must have got a bad milk order or some shit.
Them boy probably used to see me in traffic looking all kind of crazy. Yeah.
He cussing somebody the fuck out right now.
Yeah.
Let me get off this road.
They listen to the show. How the fuck y'all believe in Bryce Young? It's me looking crazy over there.
JP, what you think about all this shit?
Y'all, all of y'all, including Leo, were actually making some good points. But I want one thing and I want y'all to think about it from this angle. I want everybody to realize, whether you're a Bryce fan or not,
okay,
he is not special.
Thank you.
He seems special. He seems special because his so-called talents or superpower, he does from the neck up, not from the neck down. That's why he seems special, because of his brain and what he can do so far as with his knowledge of the game. That's why he seems special. But that is not why he is special. It's just that he uses that so-called talent and superpower more often than you see other quarterbacks use it.
But so go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Twan.
So, like, my thing is, like, even from the neck, like, so the way you just explained that, which is correct. You know what I envision with people saying Bryce Young has a superpower, the way you just explained it? A motherfucker saying Bryce Young has superpowers, but Superman picking this nigga up, flying him everywhere he need to go. Nigga, you can't fly.
No. I didn't say super. I said talent. No. Superpower.
No. I'm not talking about you, Leo. I'm saying that's how I envision it. I'm talking about for the people that love him. Like
Okay,
Bryce do this. It's like no nigga, Superman flying him around everywhere. He ain't flying himself.
yeah.
He
Like
connected to
Cam
somebody.
Newton had super abilities, like, but
Super strength, a super
yeah, super
body, and I don't mean
strength.
pause
Yeah,
on that, but
Well, Twan, he like Batman. He got to have a utility belt to be special.
yeah,
You
he
know
got
what
a
I'm saying?
utility belt. Yeah, he ain't got no real nigga.
that's a good
Okay, look,
example.
nigga. It's like this. If we take all the utilities, Q, if we take all
Hey,
that,
dog, Q,
if we
that
take
black,
all
that black man, that
that,
black man,
yeah. If we take
motherfucker,
all
black
the
man.
utility, yeah.
Nigga got my super lasso. Here's my bat lasso. Here's my bat
Hey,
whip.
look,
I'm
He
about
can't
to
have
get
and you
on
nothing to
this
take
help
phone,
him.
man. That boy said Batman. That
if you
nigga
take that
utility
fucking
belt.
if you take that belt off his ass
He ain't
and
shit. They gonna get his ass
and
whooped.
take them
He a regular
spikes
motherfucker.
and take them damn spikes off them gloves he wearing and take his damn car
Man,
away.
do his ass like Bane did his ass.
Trying to tell you, I hate
Exactly.
to
That
Break
nigga,
Batman
Put
little
his
I
on
mask
the
hate
off and take his little
Batmobile.
mask off his face.
that nigga just
I hate
black
I
man.
Did you
hate
say?
I hate it for the
He just
Did
a
you say
rich
black
I hate
man?
nigga
it for the
that got
I
everything
hate
at
it
his
for the
disposal. Yeah,
I hate it for the Batman fans, but Bruce Wayne wouldn't be shit without his money.
Nah, nothing.
But that's a
Well, I
He
mean,
superpower.
just a
yeah,
rich motherfucker with tools.
yeah, he got a motherfucker with two. Motherfucking Bane whooped his ass and took his little mask off, like broke his
Yeah,
band.
bro.
Everybody's like, damn, Batman, that shit fucked my heart up. Like,
Threw
damn, man, Batman
him
done.
down the
Bane
hole.
whoop his ass. Bane whoop his
Bane whooped
ass.
his ass.
Threw him down the hole. Yeah, man. Come on, we get the fuck out of here, man.
Broke
See,
that nigga.
Bryce Young is the nigga that can be out there in that hole for a while and figure out how to get out the hole. But if your boy was right there to push his ass
Oh,
back
he'll push
in,
you
then
right back
it'd
down the
have
hole.
been
He'd
two
kick
more
it
years.
down. It'd have been in there. Done.
Hey man, they had to start all over again, bro.
Batman,
Now,
god damn.
that's
Then they
why
would have
That
just
was a
been
good one.
black man.
That was a
Yes,
black,
sir.
not
that's
blank,
I
man.
thought you called him.
Yes, sir.
why now
Yeah, I thought you
that's
called him
why
blank
now you
man.
Yeah, no, I said
No,
that.
no.
I
This
said
nigga,
blank, man.
he has to have a utility belt to be able to get through a game. He has to have a top flight receiver. He
That
got to
nigga need
have
a
a top
gadget
flight running
player.
back.
He need
Yeah,
a
he a
gadget
gadget
player.
motherfucker. Yes, sir. That's him. He
Look, nigga,
finds little strategic ways to win battles. He's not
even
gonna
Aqua,
forcefully. He ain't gonna forcefully fight you and overwhelm you with strength or nothing like that. He got to think of
even
shit.
even Aquaman can control
We ain't got
motherfuckers in the
time.
ocean,
You
bro.
got motherfucking niggas running after your ass and shit. You got motherfucking Michael Parsons doing the motherfucking
Man,
thing.
where's my
Hey,
belt? Where's
Where's
my
my
belt?
belt?
hey, Q. Last year when they kept telling me he was so smart, I started calling him Professor X now. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
So
whoa,
we got Professor
no.
X.
Not
That
Xavier.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
See, he was Professor X till he started throwing all them goddamn interceptions. Then I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
man.
That
Professor X a
motherfucking,
smart motherfucker.
oh, Lord. Not Professor X.
Yeah.
Hey, he
Superman
thinks about everything.
well
Superman
that's the
didn't need the motherfucking Superman didn't need the cape to beat your ass. He just wanted to wear that shit.
Yeah, he
He
just
could have
want to
just
wear
beat
it.
your
He
ass
was
as
gonna
Clark
fly
Kent.
without the motherfucker. Yeah. Damn, man. Damn, Bryce.
that's why you that's why
So
now it seems like Bryce has peaked in college because now that he's in the pros,
he's overwhelmed, bro.
overwhelmed from a physical standpoint. Regardless of what people say, you can be as smart as you want to be. But in the pros, speed, strength, power kills.
Matters, boy.
Yeah, yeah. Like Lamar Jackson.
Now,
Lamar Jackson is such a phenomenal. He put it together with that throwing shit, which is very good. But his ability to like run and his agility, you know, they need to
exactly.
clone that
It
motherfucker,
gives
man.
him an
Because
extra boost.
there's not a lot of human beings on earth as athletically
Exactly. At the
gifted
end
as
of
Lamar
the day,
Jackson.
exactly. At
Hey,
the
they
end of the
might. They just
day,
brought back the dire wolf. They might clone his ass.
They have to,
at the
man. That
Right.
dude is a fun. That dude, and he's still doing it. Like the dude is his DNA, man. That old thick ass neck. I don't know what it is, but hey,
yeah,
Man, Bryce
at the
man
end
is a wonder twin, man. That nigga
at the end
says
not even that.
he turns himself into a bucket of water. What can you do with that shit?
Oh, come on, man.
He
of
killing them,
physical
man.
Shape off, bucket of fucking water.
at the end
All
of
you
the
do is
day,
wet your ass. That's it.
End of the day, physical attributes still rule in the pro game.
Yeah,
That's why nerds work at NASA and they're not starting NFL quarterbacks.
that nigga say he don't lift weights because
and
quarterbacks don't lift
that's
weights.
okay. But you know what it is? Bryce Young is the boy next door. So people, they living
Yo,
vicariously through him.
yeah, he's likable. He's a
Yeah,
nice kid. He ain't the
yeah.
he ain't the type of kid that's gonna have freaking baby mama trouble off the field. He gonna keep his conduct in check. He's
They
marketable.
somebody called him MacGyver. I'm like shit, but
Nah,
MacGyver will fuck you up.
MacGyver has to get out of some shit. Bryce can't get out of it. Yeah, that's what I was telling Twan. Like, I don't think the owner. It's a two-pronged thing. He didn't get the wins with Bryce, but he did get the win on the Panthers. Footprint as far as media, because they talk about this dude. They got a lot of YouTube channel conversations about him, not just Panthers fan bases, but novice fans of Bryce Young. I want to say novice because they be knowledgeable about it. But it's a lot of young. I'm telling you, type in Bryce Young, you see a lot of them young boys. They got those channels, and they be talking about Bryce Young and stuff like that. So the traction Bryce Young has got the Panthers. Like I told you, I said it's the Bryce Young Panthers. It ain't the Carolina Panthers no more. To me.
Yeah, he's very marketable as a player. That's for sure. I 100% agree, Leo.
But see, that don't last long though, because you got to start putting the wins with it. You don't just get to be marketable and a loser.
Yeah,
you only get
yeah,
X amount of time with that.
You're right to a certain extent, but look at the lengths that you're going to have to go to for him to win games. Because you're not going to win games on his back and his game alone. You're not. He just don't have the physical attributes set for that. You're going to have to put a steel curtain in front of him on the offensive line. You're going to have to get him not one, not two, but probably three legit receivers on the outside. You're going to have to get him a tight end.
Two of them.
That's off the receiving threat as well. You're going to have to get him not one, but 2,000-yard rushers. Because he's gonna need talent in that backfield too. And you're gonna have to build a defense that can stop people. You're gonna have to build a defense that can limit teams a whole lot in order for him to win
nobody
games.
got all that.
Now the fucked up part about that is if you would have got him all that, Bryce fans gonna be saying Bryce got us another win. Bryce got us another win. Bryce got us another one.
Right.
But
ain't nobody
at the end of the day,
what?
I mean, it is.
Let's just say
Bryce
we
do shit.
Let's just say we get all of that.
Okay.
Let's just say we get all that and get everything that he needs, and he starts winning games.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, the verdict is already out on Bryce. He can't play well behind a bad offensive. He can't play bad. He can't. He can't. I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry. He can't play good behind a bad offensive line. He can't play good with subpar weapons on the outside. He can't play good with a bad. Well, he can't win games with a bad defense on the other side. So at the end of the day, you're going to come to this conclusion that, hey, we need to pay the team talent and not pay Bryce.
And that's what I was going to say. The financial aspect of trying to keep all that talent around him and on the defensive end and pay a quarterback, you can't do all that. No NFL team has the cap for that.
Yeah, and the Falcons going to learn that very, very soon because it's going to be time to pay up on the wide receiver, the running back, the O-line. So you have to. That's why they're going to have to. They ride with Bryce this year, but like you said, you get all those good players around. You ain't gonna have the money, so you best to have a quarterback. Now I think about it, that's probably why they drafted Penix, because the rookie contract. Because you're gonna have to pay the running back and wide receivers and the O-line. Yeah.
They needed somebody to develop behind Kirk Cousins anyway. Kirk Cousins is like 90 years old now.
Oh man.
Well, no, it was an insurance policy, absolutely, but he wasn't a long-term option. But now I'm thinking about it, they had to get a quarterback on a rookie deal because Jesse Bates getting like $30 million a year. So but the Panthers, Bryce Young, if you get all that, then that's why Kansas City can't get no big time wide receiver because you got the defensive line man, he getting paid. Patrick Mahomes getting paid.
But they got a quarterback that can make his players better than they are.
Yeah. Don't even matter. Yeah. You're right.
And look at what the Bengals going through with that offense. Like you see what I'm saying with those.
Yeah, so now they hamstrung the defense out of the ball.
But put Joe Burrow with the motherfucking 49ers though. Oh, you put Joe Burrow.
But Joe Burrow can't have a Joey Bosa over there. You can't have nobody getting paid $50 million a year and the quarterback getting 52.
Exactly. But if you put Joe Burrow over here with us, it's gonna be a 12-13 win season. Just with that line alone, Leo, with the line alone.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why they could do good drafting a quarterback and just getting somebody that's serviceable.
Yeah. Burrow ain't leaving that bag. He chose the bag over, them motherfuckers know they ain't going no further than they are until they only invest in the offensive line, bro. And their defense is shabby.
Nah, you can't.
But look,
you can't
ask motherfuckers to leave that bag though.
But you gotta
That's why I always say you find out more about quarterbacks when they don't have everything around them, as opposed to when you do have everything around them. Any quarterback gonna play well when you got a.
That's what I just said, JP. If you heard me before you came on, I said, look, the true measure of the quarterback is what he does with less.
Yeah.
So then okay, all we gotta do is add this, and then we'll be, this motherfucker already out here bombing your ass with players that ain't even making Pro Bowls and shit. So imagine if we get him some Pro Bowl players.
Exactly. That's what the 49ers are. That's what the 49ers are faced with now when it comes to this Brock Purdy contract. They're looking at it now like
they're going downhill though, bro.
Like, okay, was it the team talent or was it actually Brock Purdy?
It was the team.
It was the team. Yeah, I think it's the team too.
Brock Purdy already found out he losing all his weapons.
I believe it's a team too because Brock Purdy was ass at Iowa.
Trust. I try to tell people this shit, JP.
But
that's why y'all didn't know nothing about him.
Nah, gentlemen, because
he was ass at Iowa.
I'm gonna have to put you back on that.
Pull the stats up. Pull the stats up.
I'm not saying that he went to Iowa State. I'm not saying that Brock Purdy was a big, Big Ten player of the year. None of that. I'm talking about in the NFL. This is what I'm saying specifically. The same thing with Bryce Young. Brock Purdy is one of the best players.
The nigga's Mr. Irrelevant.
Twan, listen what I'm saying. Brock Purdy layers the ball. He's one of the best layers of the football in the NFL. He could have Julio, Jerry Rice, and Gonzalez tight end and wide receivers, but you still have to have the ability to get them to ball. Brock Purdy layers the ball very, very well. He's one of the best layers of the ball in the NFL. He doesn't have a strong arm. Yep. He's not fast, but he layers the ball very, very well. He throws.
I don't know what that means.
Layers the ball very. I'm not saying that he's a top 5 quarterback. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm not taking away from his ability to layer the football and throw with touch. I'm not taking away from that.
I'm gonna tell you this though. Them motherfuckers won't win 9 games this year. Listen, no more Ayuk because he hurt. No more Debo. Chris McCaffrey stay hurt. He'll be hurt by game 4. You know what I'm saying? He lost a lineman this year to go to another team. Man, them motherfuckers ain't gonna win 9 games this year, and Brock Purdy ain't gonna help that. So pay him if you don't want to.
They not gonna pay him. No, that Brock probably get $35 million, $40 million a year. They won't give him no Dak $60 million. He might get 35 or 40.
At the end of the day, Brock Purdy accomplished no more with the 49ers than they did when Jimmy was a starter.
Dang.
He accomplished no more than.
It's a possibility they would have won that Super Bowl that year if he wasn't hurt, though.
It was a possibility.
Because look, Brock took the team the year, like you say, the year before Brock got hurt in the game against Philly. And then the year after that, they went to Super Bowl. So I have to push back on that guy because to say that he wasn't a part or the conduit to them making the playoffs and winning and getting to the Super Bowl, I have to push back on that because he displayed some ability. He does have talent. When they played it, okay, let me just say this. When they played against last year, before last, when they played against Detroit, and Detroit was up 27-7, I mean, you got to have somebody back there throwing the ball. He was running, he was making plays. I'm not saying that he Joe. I'm not saying that he Allen. I'm not saying he none of those guys. But to take away from his ability to get the ball to the skilled players, I have to push back. Brock Purdy is not trash. Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. I would take Brock over Dak Prescott. I'd tell you that much.
Thing about it is, Leo, now you said that he's not Joe, he's not none of those upper echelon quarterbacks. Now you're gonna have to pay Brock Purdy like he is.
You don't. No, they not. They don't have to pay him like that because they know, just like your argument, is it nature versus nurture and stuff like that. It was it the players or was it Brock? So they not gonna pay him $60 million.
Leo, it's gonna have to be close to it because that's why they got the NFL Players Association. They're gonna push for him to stay with the stay alone with the for what's the word I'm looking for? The with the market. They can't pay him no less than a certain mark. That's what the NFLPA is for, and so that you treat them guys equally.
So you know what San Fran gonna do?
He gonna get overpaid. He gonna get overpaid. That's just gonna happen.
If Brock agent asking for 60 or 50,
he might get it.
San Fran gonna do him?
They gonna trade him.
Okay, yeah, because you could draft somebody just as good, if not better than Brock.
Just know that next team will have to pay something similar, and they're gonna be like, "Nah, bro, you play with nothing but weapons over there. We ain't got that over here. I ain't paying you no $60 million."
That's the type of situation that we're gonna be faced with Bryce in Carolina eventually one day. Same situation.
Well, they don't have to pick up his contract though.
No, that's gonna be the same situation. That's gonna be the same situation that whoever decides to take on Bryce gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, if Bryce Young doesn't have an above average game, season next year, Carolina Panthers they gonna draft the quarterback because the quarterbacks coming out next year, they're too good. If the Panthers don't have a good year to pass up on drafting the quarterback, if the Panthers have a good year, then they can just bypass that. They don't need a quarterback. But if they don't if they don't win them more than 6 or 7 games, it will be wild for them to draft
the way you avoid paying Bryce and him trying to set a market or whatever is benching his ass. That's the only way you're going to avoid it. You're going to have to bench him.
Because
and that means another team don't have to worry about paying him that money because you don't have to bench his ass, bro. If you don't bench him, he going to stay with the market. So Carolina going to have to make a decision.
But another team will only get him for a 1-year deal or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. They'll pay him for 1 year. It's going to be you're right, 3D. So it's going to be a proven deal. And he probably not going to prove it.
Yeah, Bryce Young ain't proving it.
If he leaves the Panthers, he'll have to go somewhere.
He probably ain't going to prove shit.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. It's a bad position to be in, man, for Carolina, man.
Why, if you're Carolina at this particular point in time, you take this time while Bryce Young is on a rookie deal to build a team.
Yep.
And once Bryce rookie deal is up with, set your quarterback market with another rookie quarterback deal.
Is that next year?
Burdick is already out on Bryce. He's not going to play well when it's not shit around him. He's already proven that. He's not going to uplift anybody around him due to his own play. You're not going to win games with him at quarterback unless you have a Pro Bowl team.
You cannot have one of the best offensive lines in the league and don't show up, because then it points right at you.
Exactly. Everybody want to talk about, oh well, he throws anticipation throws very well. Yeah, he got to throw anticipation throws very well last year because he had a good offensive
It was
line.
on his ass. It was on his ass.
But that doesn't take away from his ability to do it, though. I hear what you're saying, but he throws with a very good anticipation. That is a fact. But he has to rely on that because he didn't have the arm strength to do it consistently.
It don't matter, Leo. Most teams are not going to be able to invest $200 million just in an offensive line.
You're absolutely right. It don't matter. I had to clarify briefly. I'm not a fan of Bryce Young in the NFL. I don't think he is capable physically of being good. So I don't want nobody to misconstrue me saying that I'm a fan of him. I was a fan of college Bryce, but in the NFL, I'm not a fan because he is not physically capable of being consistent. So I just want to clarify that. That's all.
I got you, Leo.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree.
I'm glad you clarified that because it sounded like you on his balls earlier.
What you mean? I done said it like 10 times.
Nah, you was lawyering. You was in court. You was in the courtroom with his lawyer for a minute.
Yeah, I kind of got what he was trying to say, but I don't think everybody was separating college Bryce from NFL Bryce when Leo was making his argument. So
Twan was saying that. Oh, no, that's
I'm
true.
just saying the nigga ain't in college no more, bro.
You're right. You're right. It's night and day. It's night and day with college and the pro. Like coming out, I was like, ain't nowhere in the world. Like I said, unless Bryce Young was Michael Vick or Kyler Murray, that shit would probably work. But if you can't outrun a linebacker, ain't nowhere in the fuck you can get to the outside. if you can't seal the offensive lineman, ain't nowhere in the world you're gonna throw across the middle. And we saw the problems. The first fucking game, the first game of the first year, the first game of the second year.
That's why that whole improv game that he did in college, that he was so great at, that's why it's failing him in the NFL so far.
I'm gonna be honest with you too.
It was great at improv in college. Johnny Manziel.
But Johnny Manziel was limited because Johnny Manziel wasn't a freak athlete like Michael Vick.
He was something like them in college. Johnny Football was something like them niggas though.
He was like
Manziel. Johnny Manziel was limited in the
brain. Was shifty. Yeah, he was shifty as hell though, bro.
No, I'm saying, but compared, I'm talking about like Kyler Murray and Michael Vick.
No, I don't know about Michael Vick. No,
I mean he was Kyler Murray was phenomenal in school in college.
Man, nobody was Vick, but Vick still didn't win. I mean, he went to the
they went to the championship game.
Yeah, against Florida State, but I'm saying he ain't win it all and that like that. That was his best year. Other than that, Virginia Tech won shit.
He only played 3 years.
But that's what I said though. I said nobody was like Vick, man. Vick that's God-given talent, bro.
Well, no. But you know who else was good in college too? Shit,
he carried that whole team, bro.
Motherfucking Vince Young is hell too in college.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah, he was.
Vince Young was fucking hell, man. I like
I thought Vince Young was gonna be that guy at the next level, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was a big fan of Vince Young, man. But I knew Vince wasn't throwing the ball though. I ain't see Vince wasn't a thrower of the football though. Like as much motherfuckers think I like Cam was the best. Vince was good, but in 1 year, Cam was the best college football player I ever saw play. And I've seen a lot of motherfuckers play college football.
To this day, bro, what he did at Auburn was
Cam was phenomenal, man. Vince had a better college career than Cam, but Cam was phenomenal.
Cam won everywhere he went. Cam didn't lose nowhere.
Name them wide receivers that Cam had at Auburn.
I told him, I said nobody got drafted that year outside of Cam on the opposite side of the ball. I think an offensive lineman got drafted, but other than Cam, nobody on the opposite side of the ball got drafted.
The only person that got drafted other than that was Fairley, Donkey Kong on his defense.
Okay, so just Fairley and him. That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That motherfucker, man, Cam was hell and school. Like, who the fuck is number 2?
Man, look, even when they was down, it was no lead on the game. Against that
Alabama
motherfucker
is
was
like, man,
safe.
I got this, man. I was like, this motherfucker, man.
Man, that motherfucker always made that face like, man, I might go ahead and take this shit from their ass, bro. You get up out of there.
Yeah, Cam was hell, man. And he in NFL, he everybody ain't fucking. He did what he did. It is what it is.
That nigga just was not used to losing. That's why he had the towel over the head. This motherfucker felt like he signed up for some bullshit. These niggas didn't want to win. That's why I take that whole thing different than people take when, like the whole when Steve Smith tried to make it a thing, talking about, nah, man, like I walked into a room full of fucking, he won't saying that shit like to be personal, but y'all motherfuckers have only won 2 games. Y'all were losers. And y'all was comfortable with losing.
He was talking about that particular team right there.
Yeah, just that team.
We will not disrespect the great Agent 89. I'm sorry.
He just disrespected himself, man.
Nah, because the thing is, Twan, though, you have to consider the fact that so that's a team of losers, but yet and still you came on the team and it ain't like you took us to the okay, Twan.
Man,
hey,
they were
Twan,
just,
real quick. Let me just say this.
We was comfortable in losing then, bro.
Okay. Well,
that man was not used to it.
Okay. He wasn't used to losing, but when Andrew Luck the next year took a losing team to the playoffs, I wonder, hold up, why Cam ain't take his losing ass team to the playoffs?
You don't even want me to name who was on the Indianapolis team, bro.
Like I said, why Cam ain't take his losing ass team to the playoffs?
JP, help me out.
Boy, the next year did.
Yep.
That's all I know.
That
Adrian James wasn't on the Indianapolis coach when Andrew Luck came. They had the wide receiver, but Cam had a wide receiver. Let me ask y'all this though. Let me ask y'all this. What was the wide receiver that played for the Colts? Not Marvin Harrison, but the other dude.
What? Look,
you talking
about
Reggie Wayne?
Marvin Harrison.
Okay. Reggie Wayne. Who was a better wide receiver, Reggie Wayne or Steve Smith?
Oh, that's hard, man.
They neck and neck if you ask me, but Reggie Wayne had more accolades.
But to you though, Q, and anybody else watching
he played on a better team, Leo.
No, he went playing on a better team because they had they had the number 1 pick after we did. So
who you
think was a better
No. I can't let you get away with that.
Receiver to you though, Twan. Who was the better?
I can't let you get away with that. I can't let you get away with that. Who was he still catching passes from before Cam got there? Who?
Exactly.
Why? I asked you. I'm talking about 2012 and 2000. And who was the better wide receiver to you personally, Steve Smith or Reggie Wayne? I'm asking you.
I'm gonna go with Steve Smith. I'm biased. I ain't gonna lie.
Biased. Okay, I got you. You being biased. Okay,
at least I'm being honest about it. I mean, look, to me, that's who I watch.
So Steve Smith has more all-time yards than him.
Yeah.
When it comes to it, and he has, I believe, more touchdowns.
Hey, Q, pause that. Timeout, real quick. Timeout. Okay, so when Andrew Luck went to the Colts and Cam went to the Panthers, same, almost calendar year now. So are we to say that Cam had a better wide receiver than Andrew Luck did? Is that a fair argument to make? Is that fair?
Andrew Luck had a better wide receiver core than Cam had his rookie season. Nobody in their right mind is picking Steve Smith and Brandon LaFell over Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
Marvin Harrison was on the team when Andrew Luck went there.
He was retiring. He was on the way out. Yeah.
He played 1 year, or did he play that year when Andrew Luck got drafted?
Yeah, he played Luck's rookie year. Yeah.
Oh well, throw it out the window then. There's no argument there. There is no. I thought he had already retired, but if he's on the team, then there's no argument there.
No, they had.
He did play because I remember him throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison on this play. Andrew Luck was running and he just threw that shit, and he threw that shit to Marvin Harrison. I remember the play.
But the thing about Indy, though, even before Andrew Luck got there, Indy had a winning culture already before Luck even came in town.
A winning. I mean, they had Peyton Manning.
They had they had a winning culture.
But let me ask you this, though, brother. Hold on, winning culture in 10 years, Carolina and Indianapolis played. I think Carolina probably played in more Super Bowls than Indianapolis did. In that little window.
You talking about one Super Bowl?
No, I'm saying like in a little window of like say 10 to 15 years, Carolina had went to the Super Bowl one time. How many rings your boy got? 2 or 1?
Who? Peyton Manning? He got 2 now.
He got 2, but I'm saying in the window.
Broncos.
That
That's what I'm saying, but like, but they consistently went to the playoff. I'm just saying, like, far as going to the Super Bowl, I mean, it's about the same. I mean, they had more winning seasons than the Carolina Panthers did, but they only went to 1 Super Bowl in the same 20-year span.
It doesn't
matter. Hear me out on this.
Consistently in the playoffs on the.
No, but they did. But they had Peyton Manning. They had a Hall of Fame quarterback. So when you say they had a better organization, they got a fucking good quarterback.
That's why.
Leo, hear me out on this though.
Being able to beat Tom Brady because he kept going to the playoffs and kept losing to Brady year after year.
Here's the other point. Here's the other point with Andrew Luck too.
We wasn't going to the playoffs year after year, like Indianapolis was.
No, you weren't. They weren't. I'm just saying, like, you know, they had time. I mean, they had Peyton Manning. And you just get lucky with a quarterback, and that's how the shit go. But
but Leo, remember this though. Andrew Luck, you remember it was rumored that he stayed back in Stanford because he was like, I don't want to play for the Carolina Panthers. That nigga he said, look, they don't have enough. I don't want to go over there.
Nah, I can't. Oh, that year before. Okay, that I did.
Yeah, he went back. He was original. He went back to school. Yeah, he didn't want to fuck with us.
I did that
because it was supposed to be him versus Cam in that draft.
Well, I mean, I can understand.
Remember,
they talked about they weren't even high. They talked about drafting the wide receiver from Georgia or the dude Blaine Gabbert over there. It was conversation about that. I don't know how solid they were on Cam at the time, but I'm glad they made that decision. But
top 3 quarterbacks in the draft was Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert, and Jake Locker. That's what everybody was.
I remember arguing with my coworker. He was like, Carolina gonna get Luck. I was like, nah, I want Cam. Because we used to go back and forth every day at work, man. You know, and then when old boy dropped out, it's like, man, he ain't fucking with Carolina, bro. I was like, because we had already made a bet at work, man. I was like, well, just go ahead and give me my money now. Because you know they go with Cam now. And then it turned out when we got Cam, he fell in love with him.
Cam was a phenomenal football player. He's phenomenal.
I came from. I want to
ask y'all this question since it's brought up though. But if Cam, and knowing what we know now, right? Who would y'all have taken at number 1 if he came out with Cam?
I probably still would have went with Cam Newton because in college, Andrew Luck, he was prototypical, but I wasn't a fan of that. I didn't see him doing what he did in the NFL.
I do.
I prefer because Cam Newton, like I say, he, I wasn't too bad going for running shit, but I mean, he did throw the ball. So, and I hope I had high hopes about him throwing the ball more consistently. So,
you changed the game though, Leo, because half the quarterbacks in the league now are dual threat quarterbacks. Half of them.
That ain't saying nothing, man. Don't ask me. Don't bring up that shit with me. You know how I feel about that.
But you say you don't like the running. But they do it. It's a prerequisite for a lot of these teams.
I got you. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'd leave it alone.
There gotta be nowadays when 300 pounds can motherfucking
ain't nobody trying to sit in no fucking pocket all day now, bro. Get killed back there, bro. Shit, you better be able to do something.
Throw the ball in the pocket. So I got you. I leave it alone.
Matthew Stafford take off in that motherfucker too, bro. You don't sit back there all day.
Everybody. I mean, Tom them ran when he had to, but it's last resort. But I got
Nah,
you though,
Tom
man.
was a true pocket quarterback. But he had a
Man, and them boys ain't run nowhere unless they fucking mad. Unless it was like 15 yards.
Tom wasn't gonna give you number 2 yards if he took off. That was about it.
Nah, but I hear y'all on that running quarterback stuff. I got
That
you.
motherfucker had the Forrest Gump shit on his legs when he was playing with.
He wasn't moving nowhere unless he
motherfucker
way out of the
he
field.
said, "I'm gonna give you 2. I'm gonna give you 2, 3 yards." That's about it. Going down. Shit.
Everywhere I was running.
Yeah, that motherfucker said, "Y'all saw me in that damn. Y'all saw the film of me in that 40. You know damn well I ain't running."
Yeah. But like I
Oh,
said,
so
I mean,
didn't.
but the positions on defense are just so much more athletic now that it's like you almost gotta have some type of mobility as a quarterback.
I have to
Because
respectfully disagree with you on that, but I hear you.
Sitting in that pocket ain't it no more, bro. These motherfuckers is too fast, Leo. These motherfuckers coming off this defensive line, they too fast, bro. You can't sit back there and let that shit collapse on you, bro.
unless you got a steel curtain for an offensive line, you can't
Hell
afford to stay
yeah.
back
You better be on the move.
in that field all day. You can't.
I'm gonna be real. Hey, Leo, be honest. Cam might have ran less if he had a real line in front of him.
I will not be honest with that because that is not my opinion on the matter. But
I believe he would have ran a lot less if he had a real line in front of him. That motherfucker's back there running for his life sometimes.
That's a BS excuse. I got you though. In my opinion, that's a BS excuse. But I hear you though.
All right.
Cam Newton never developed the ability to. Cam Newton was Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp, my favorite basketball player of all time. When Sean Kemp lost the ability to jump, he came back down to earth. When Cam lost the ability to run, he came back down to earth. It is what it is. It ain't nothing. I ain't taking nothing away from none of them.
That's the give and take that you take when it comes to with mobile quarterbacks, Leo. I mean, like I said, unless you got
okay. Well, let me ask you this though: did you watch Randall Cunningham? Did you? You sound like an older gentleman. You might be in your 40s. Did you watch Randall Cunningham play football?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, Leo.
So
Leo,
when
let me
Randall
tell you something.
Cunningham played for the Vikings, was he running around?
No, not as much. But Leo, let me tell you this though, Leo.
So Twan, what did he improve on?
But look, I'm trying to explain to you who I am, so you understand me better with that. Randall,
I know. I'm talking to the other
Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham was like that. When I seen him play quarterback, the way he played amazed me, man. That shit was crazy, bro. That's why I like motherfuckers like Cam at that height. He won't bigger than Cam. But you're right. It was. I mean, he didn't win with the Eagles every year, but he was one of the most exciting players to watch. But you're right. I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to give you your credit. I'm trying to give you your credit though. But when he went to the Vikings, yeah, he did slow down and he started throwing more. He ain't had the same legs when he got to the Vikings like that. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But Cam changed the game with that shit.
It is what it is. But they
check this out.
to do it though.
But what's that? But listen, Steve Young got one. He got a title.
Steve
that motherfucker was a dual threat quarterback. But he was dual threat.
Throwing the ball down the field anyway. Steve had his completion percentage was like in the 70s his whole career. I'm not taking because people just max out their ability. I'm not saying that Cam wasn't capable or he was capable. I'm just saying his throwing never improved to the point where he could just be a pocket quarterback because it's
the last elite pocket quarterback that I've seen recently was Drew Brees. I say elite quarterback. Drew Brees stayed in that damn pocket, bro. Yeah, he terrorized you out of that shit. He hardly ever ran. But he had a good line in front of him, bro. New Orleans kept a line in front of him.
Yeah, they did.
If you don't got an offensive line, that means they're going to let motherfuckers through, and then that means you're going to be on the run. Whether you want to be dual threat or not.
At the same time, though, Randall Cunningham was a great gifted quarterback. But at the same time,
he was a beast.
Was not facing a Myles Garrett on the other side.
Hell no.
So did Randall Cunningham play when Reggie White was playing? I know they played in the same division.
They was on the same team.
Reggie White was good.
He
was
played
good.
with the Eagles. Yeah.
Wrong.
No, he
But
played
from
with
an athletic standpoint.
Green Bay.
From an athletic standpoint, he is nowhere near a Myles Garrett. Nowhere near.
Say what? JP?
I don't know about that one.
Ask him again.
I don't know. They about equal.
You talking about
Hey, let me ask JP a question. JP,
he gonna explain. Let him explain though.
Better than Julius Peppers?
Let him explain. Let him say he gonna explain it though.
No, real quick though. But no, we could. I'm gonna give him that though. I'm gonna give JP that. I'm gonna give him that though. JP was he more athletically gifted than Julius Peppers?
Myles Garrett ain't better than Peppers. Not to me.
Let JP answer since he said.
Oh yeah.
Athletically, he probably on par with him.
Oh, I ain't never seen Myles Garrett nowhere dunking no basketball, brother.
Really? You haven't?
that ain't got nothing to do with the football though.
I gotta type it in. Let me type it in. Let me type in
videos of Myles Garrett playing basketball. They got videos of him out there playing it.
Yeah. Myles Garrett is
dunking, catching alley-oops, catching alley-oops, dunking it.
Myles
Garrett that don't got nothing to do with yeah. I mean, Peppers is a big motherfucker, bro.
He just as much of an athlete as Julius Peppers was.
Yeah.
Okay, so JP, let's time that out then. Did Julius Peppers play against Randall Cunningham at any point?
No.
Did he? I don't think he did.
Nah, it was past his time.
That's why I say Reggie White was great. He was good for his time. But
that motherfucker was a beast. No, JP, he was the minister of defense. When you get a nickname, you that good, bro. He was the minister of defense.
Athletic, gifted as Myles Garrett and Julius Peppers were.
For his time, man, I think he was just as good for his time, bro.
For his time, he was good.
Yeah, no, I think he was just like them. He was just like them for his time, bro.
Can you imagine Reggie White now? Can you imagine
JP, he was the minister.
Imagine Reggie White in his prime right now trying to chase around Lamar Jackson.
But you using.
It's not a lot of people that can do that.
You jumping though, brother. You can't use Lamar Jackson because Lamar is an outlier, though, brother. Let's just stake among the average quarterback, though.
Okay, then. All right, then.
Lamar is not the average quarterback.
Reggie White in his prime trying to chase around daggone prime Cam Newton. How about that?
Look at this.
They didn't have a lot of dual threat quarterbacks back then.
He double pumped it too.
He would not be able to do it. That's why I'm saying the defenders of today are more athletic than they were back then.
That's because they got better equipment and shit now.
That motherfucker like
he on grass now.
Equipment ain't got nothing to do with your athletic ability.
I'm saying the athletic science is different now.
He on grass now.
He just fucking around.
Yeah,
this motherfucker
he's athletic as a motherfucker now.
This motherfucker did
I know he is. I like Myles Garrett, but
this motherfucker did a split double.
That's a reverse windmill dunk.
Shit, hell yeah.
Okay, JP, let me ask you this. So who was the better player there? Myles ain't finished playing, but you think Myles Garrett will break Reggie White record?
Probably not.
No, he don't have the record. I think the dude from Smith got the record, I think.
He sure ain't gonna break it.
Probably not.
I thought Strahan brought but beat. No.
Nah, the dude
Reggie was a tackle. Yeah.
Who was a better? Well, nah, that's
when Reggie White was playing, man. This motherfucker was the minister of defense. Look, he was the best at his craft when he was playing until he got older. When he came with us, he was about done.
Yeah, was good.
When he came to us, he was on his left.
God damn.
I'm not questioning Reggie White's ability.
Oh, hold on. Hey, that motherfucker might duck on Pepper's ass, bro.
Oh no, yes.
Peppers ain't going nowhere, bro. He tall enough.
Damn.
I don't know if Peppers would have been able to do that with him, bro.
That's why I say Reggie White is nowhere near as athletic as those two were.
He
Nowhere near.
was not. He was.
God damn.
He
I
was
said for his
not athletic.
for his time he was.
I like this motherfucker, man. This dude ain't got. He ain't got a. His body.
Yeah, say it again, Q. He wasn't as athletic as them, but he was stronger.
Yeah, that nigga could bench and lift like a motherfucker now. Reggie White
Yeah,
is a strong motherfucker.
You remember, it was 3 motherfuckers that couldn't stop him, bro. That motherfucker, there was no stopping that nigga from getting to your quarterback.
Tennis ball in that man's hand, man.
I don't know. He might have put Peppers on his ass, bro.
He grabbed a motherfucker with one hand and body slammed this nigga in the middle of the field. He was a fucking lineman, 6'7". He just grabbed that nigga like nothing and just body slammed.
Myles Garrett, serious, man. I didn't know that dude was doing all that shit.
Bro, this motherfucker got a shot from the outside too, bro. Peppers wasn't doing all that.
He be balling.
That's why he's been the most double team defensive lineman the last 2 years.
Nah, he a good player. He a phenomenal player. I like Myles Garrett.
Miles Garrett is the new Aaron Donaldson.
Nah, brother. No, Aaron was doing it. How many defensive player of the year that Myles Garrett got?
I'm telling you. He's the new Aaron Donald. I'm telling you.
What you mean new, brother? Myles Garrett been playing like 6 or 7 years. He ain't new.
The new Aaron, and he's that
much
of
a
He's saying
he said he replacing him.
He's the next guy.
He replacing him, yeah.
No, I don't think so because he been playing.
Shit. He must be crazy.
Like dominating.
Aaron Donald used to wreck Aaron Donald used to wreck offensive game plans
Yeah.
just because he was.
He is the guy now, bro. Yeah. Ain't nobody stopping this motherfucker in the league, bro.
No. I mean, he been playing. I mean, he be getting like a lot of sacks. He's very, very good. He's one of the best players in the NFL. But Aaron Donald, I don't see that. But I mean,
this motherfucker out here ripping point guards.
As of right now, you have to commit. You have to commit your offensive line to stopping Myles Garrett. You're not blocking that dude.
But you have to do the same thing for Kansas City defensive end. The defensive tackle. You have to do the same thing for him. You can't one-on-one that dude from Kansas City. Even Carter from Philadelphia.
I don't know about that. Chris Jones, he only got double team last year, 27% of his snaps. While Myles Garrett got double team 48% of the snaps he played.
Damn, well, how you keep these percentages on hand like this right here? God damn.
I understand. I mean, Myles Garrett.
Some that should be in your head.
If you double team motherfucker damn near 50% of the time, that's a disruptor right there.
Exactly, Leo. That's why I say he's the new Aaron Donald. You're not blocking that dude with just one or two offensive linemen.
Oh, that's the concept. Okay, my bad. I thought you. Yeah. No. But I don't buy new because Aaron just retired like 2 years ago. I mean, they just been phenomenal football players.
He just saying that now that he's gone, he's filling that void. Like ain't nobody stopping him now.
Yes.
Like when Aaron Donald was out there, you had to worry about both of them. Now that Aaron Donald's gone, Myles is that guy, bro. You ain't stopping that motherfucker putting one man in front of him.
Nah, you can't. Nah. Nobody's stopping Aaron Donald one-on-one. I mean, Myles Garrett one-on-one.
You have to form your offensive game plan around stopping Myles Garrett because he is that much of a game wrecker.
Well, fellas, I'll tell you like this right here. Game record or not, your boy got to go today.
It's been 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Last words is what we about to start getting. Myles Garrett is a bad motherfucker. Let's let it. Yeah. JP, talk to me.
Oh man, shit! It was nice getting on once again. I'm gonna try my best to get on next time Twan get a show because I ain't been on a 704 in a while too. But man, I appreciate y'all. Man, love the discussion. Find me mainly on Twitter or Black Cat or 704 Charlotte Bound. I'm always around.
Yeah,
yes, sir. We appreciate you, cuz. Twan Don 704. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, please, hey guys, look, subscribe to the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Got a dope show, just like Black Cat for the most part over there with us. Make sure when you sign up, man, you know, when you subscribe to us, hit that notification bell, man. It says all. So you get all the notifications when we go live, man. But look, shout out to Q, man. It was a great discussion today, great debates. It wasn't that niggerish. It was just skills today.
Yeah. Appreciate you over there, Twan
Yeah,
Don 704. Make sure y'all subscribe. This
appreciate
has
that.
been your boy. I'm getting up out of here. I got some shit to do. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Shout out to y'all. We'll be back in full fledged next week. The GOAT is on vacation. So shout out to him. Happy birthday to him. This is birthday week. We'll see him full fledged back and at it next week, probably. So shout out to everybody. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. It's your boys.